right, Brown. We are live. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get these sound effects. You know what I mean? So shit, let's go ahead and rerun it, man. Let's go ahead and run it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and run it. All right, cool. My name is Brandon B. Dixon, MLS 1541210 is at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. Also, you join the YouTube. It's at Billionaire Loan Officer. Like, subscribe. Don't forget. Comment on the video. We'll read the comment live on air, and we'll answer any questions that you want. My website, www.applywithb.com. If you want to book me for a consultation or you want a mortgage, call me 832-775-8357. You call me 24/7. BrandonBDixon.com is the website if leasing or listing, or you want to talk about investment properties. And last but not least, CLCinvestmentclub.com. If you want to mitigate your risk, you want to join our investment club and get into this real estate investing. All right, Corey, I got you all set up.
All right. Corey Smith, broker owner, Commodore Mortgage, here for all your real estate needs.
Gotcha. Man, we're going to go ahead and just uniform everything, man. We're going to just go ahead and call this the Power of Ownership Podcast, man. Like I said, like I've been rocking, man. I'm getting a couple of comments. Man, this ain't real estate. Real estate beyond. I put real estate in the title just to get real estate people in, and it really don't work. So the Power of Ownership, that's what I've been rocking with. That's how we're gonna go ahead and rock it, man. The Power of Ownership is gonna be real estate, is ownership of everything. Ownership of the mind, body, and soul. We talk about a little bit of everything, man. But let's go ahead. Oh shit. Let's go ahead and I got a couple from last week that I kind of skipped over, so let's go ahead and get without further ado. I don't know if Dunbar will come on this week. He said maybe not for sure next week, but then we'll rock for that. I don't know. It might be past Barry B bedtime, so I don't know if Barry B gonna pop on or not. So we'll see how it goes. But let's go ahead and start. Let me go ahead and find. We'll start off with the clips from last week. Hold on a second. And then we'll go from there. Hold on. Let me put that up, and then let's go ahead and get it kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
The level sounding right, though?
Level sound good to me.
Do not let guys who make under 150K join the fitness program.
It's very simple. What we do is expensive, and I hate wasting people's time.
You say they'll get ripped or they don't pay a dime. What does that mean exactly?
Exactly that. If they go through our program and they don't get into the best shape of their lives, I'll refund every cent.
What do you guys actually do?
We're the top online fitness coaching company in the world. We coach every person one-on-one so we can customize the program to each person's busy lifestyle. We coach people on how to eat and what to do to get in elite shape. And again, if it doesn't work, they get all their money back.
Besides getting guys ripped, what are the other benefits?
In our top program, guys get access to one of the top medical teams in the country for total optimization. Energy, drive, longevity, and again, total optimization. Guys will feel like they turn back the clock 20 years. Nothing is better than being the most successful, most jacked dad at your kid's little league.
If a guy makes really good money, does it really matter if he's ripped too?
At the end of the day, it's not about the six-pack. Men want respect and men want status. Money can buy a little of that. But if you're a soft and sloppy millionaire, you don't respect yourself and everyone can see it and you can feel it. Being elite in all areas is the goal, not just financially.
If a guy makes over 150K, how does he join?
Click the link below, watch the video on the next page, and apply now if you're ready to win your fitness back in an elite way.
I got it. The reason why I put that up first, because like I said, I got a couple that's kind of on that theme. Is it okay to box people out? Like, all right, man, look, if you don't make enough money, don't even look this way. You can't even, if you don't make 150K, don't look this way. Is that fair? Like, are you boxing people out, or should it be open to everybody, or you think you could run your business like you want to run your business? I'll give you first crack at it.
Man, all it is a marketing tactic. That's all it is. They done concocted up this marketing video. People have FOMO. You know what I'm saying? FOMO real bad. So when you tell people that they can't obtain something easily, you know what I'm saying, or you're only looking for a certain category of people, then everybody wants to jump on board because they don't want to feel like they're missing out. So then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you know, there's no criteria in order to double check and make sure you make over 150 or more. The only thing that you have to do is fill out this questionnaire stating that you make over 150,000, and then they're going to allow for you to pay whatever it is for the program, the $5 grand, 2,500, whatever it is that they're charging for the program. So I do think, you know what I'm saying, it's all smoke and mirrors. I'm not necessarily believing that. That, you know what I'm saying, they're only going after a certain caliber of people. This is just a market employee. I've seen it 100 times before, but even though I've seen it 100 times before, there's a lot of people that haven't, and there's going to be a lot of people that actually pay the money to get inside that program.
Right, but
don't hate the player in the game.
The question is that I get it. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about if it's marketing or not. Even if it is, even if it's a skit, is it fair? Let's say this is reality. Is it fair for him to box people? If I make 120, I can't get into this program.
Yes, I think it's fair.
So I can. So what's the line? All right, you too black, you too white, you're female. What's the line?
Well, now you're going into which, you know what I'm saying, I knew you was going to go. Now you're going into a repertoire where, you know what I'm saying, you're going into a protected class. This is not a protected class. If I as a mortgage broker say, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to do a loan amount under $150,000 because it's not worth my time, who's to tell me, you know what I'm saying, that I'm wrong for doing that? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying, if they don't do business with me, they're going to do business with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? If that's it, which I've heard, you know, mortgage brokers, you know what I'm saying, and loan officers have that criteria. It's not worth my time to do underneath a certain loan amount. But again, doing underneath a certain loan amount is not a protected class. So if that is the way that you run your business, that's the way you want to do things, who's to tell you that you're wrong for doing that?
Right. I don't know. It's different. I get the fact that you could, all right, I'm going to set my price. And I'm going to price it to where I don't want any riffraff there. But to say how much money I make per year, that's a little bit different. I'm not advocating. I'm just raising the question. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, you know, wouldn't that be social discrimination or class discrimination?
Not at all.
Okay, so we could.
I
could put, because it's different. I get that I could set my price as far as loans. I could, hey, I want to deal with, I need to make a certain amount of money. That's different than, all right, I don't want to deal with nobody that make less than $60,000 a year. That's different. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, because even still, you know what I'm saying, you're still talking about the same principle. Income is not a protected class. Not really.
You see the difference? I can set my price. All right, my dogs cost $10K on up. But I can't, I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just raising the question. I'm not advocating either. But I can't say, all right, in order to buy my dogs, you need to make $100,000 a year.
But if that's your choice, is that illegal?
I don't know. I'm not saying if it's illegal or not. Is it ethically questionable is the question.
I think if you make over $100,000, it's not ethnically questionable.
Would you be all right with that? Let's say you about to go in this restaurant.
Yep.
And I put my hand out your, like, now, partner, show me your last 2 years W-2s. You need to make over 150 to even get up in there.
Not going to that restaurant.
Yeah, but
if y'all got to do that, to go to that restaurant, there's plenty of other choices. I go to the restaurant next door.
Gotcha. But you wouldn't feel some type of way.
I probably would. Right. I probably would. But you know what I'm saying, to say that I would be pissed off and, you know what I'm saying, let me go hire a lawyer and all this other stuff. No, of course not. Right. You know what I'm saying? You will feel a certain kind of way, but you know what I'm saying, it's not over an emotional type situation where, you know what I'm saying, you just feel like it's unjust or anything like that.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, that's different. I get it's a marketing, you know, he's trying to get the top people. I get it. Now let's skew it even more. Let's kick up even more dust. Mm-hmm. When you said FOMO, fear of missing out, isn't that scarcity?
No, not quite.
All right,
it's not quite the same thing.
All right.
So when you talk about scarcity, you know what I'm saying, you there's a feeling that something's going to run out.
Okay.
It's not enough that's going to be available for you. When you're talking about something, Yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? But when you talk about scarcity, that's essentially what scarcity is when you fear that something's going to run out. Now, just fear of, oh, they having a house party over here, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to be able to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's FOMO. That's fear of missing out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that party going to be off the chains. You know what I'm saying? I ain't
I'm
going to be
talking
able
about
to
this
make it.
particular
I'm going to try to
situation
go.
as far as, hey, if you can't do 150,000, then you're not in this club. Then people, like you said, don't want to miss out. Oh, okay, this is exclusives. You know, the exclusivity, isn't that scarcity?
No, because you just said it. It's exclusivity and then there's scarcity. It wouldn't be two different words if it was the same.
I mean, it's synonym, meaning they're similar things.
Hey, look, if that's the way you want to stretch it, you know what I'm saying? Whatever point you try to make, go on and make it because it ain't the same. Hey, look, go for it. You can ask that same question 10,000 times, but you know what I'm saying? It is not the same.
Right.
But if you want to make it the same to make your point, by all means, go for it. I ain't going to stand in your way.
My point is, it's similar. As far as the tactic is similar. My point.
Okay.
He's using that exclusivity that, hey, we're only taking this. Which makes this particular service is scarce. It's not abundant. So that's where it's similar. All right, I'm not giving this to the masses. I'm only giving it to this group of people. So yeah, they got a fear, and then I gotta get here in order to get this. So this is not a vast, abundant thing that I could get. This is scarce. You see? So my next question would be, all right, did he use any credibility? Who is he? He don't have any credibility, but he used scarcity, and I persuade you, like, damn, I only make 130. I need to get up if I want to get access to this. It's all
his only credibility, which a lot of them does. You know what I'm saying, is the fact that he had it listed under there. He's an ex-NFL player. That's it. That was his credibility.
You breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Say it one more time.
I said, you know what I'm saying, his only credibility was that, you know what I'm saying, he was an ex-NFL player, which, you know what I'm saying, he had listed below. That's the way, you know what I'm saying, anytime that you can identify, you know what I'm saying, with a major league or a professional league, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, people use that as a front runner. Ex-NFL player, you know what I'm saying, teach people how to get ripped. Right. That's his credibility that he uses. Hey, look, if you want to say it works or doesn't work, you know what I'm saying, that's your opinion, but I'm just saying, the guys, when it comes to sales, guys lead with the ex-NBA player, ex-NFL player, whatever. You know what I'm saying? When they're trying to sell something.
Gotcha. Let me see. I don't know if I played this. No, I didn't. I think if I did play this one last week, stop me. Let me know.
Billionaires in the world, not one of them ever played in the NFL. We live in a nation that makes sure that every boy, especially back in Brown, touches a football or basketball before the age of 4. No one questions that. My vision now is to have 1 million kids doing STEM on Saturdays all across this country, hoping and dreaming and believing that one day, 18, 19 years later, there'll be one of the 14.4 millionaires in the world or one of the 3,250 billionaires in the world. And the thing about it is that out of those 3,250 billionaires in the world, not one of them ever played in the NFL. Only 1 or 2 have played in the NBA. Only 3 or 4 has ever been rappers. Only 5 or 6 has been entertainers. That leaves like 3,235 different positions for them to become millionaires.
No, I don't think I played that last week, did I?
No, you didn't play that last week.
Gotcha. So I'll go ahead and lead it off while because I'm trying to curate, see what I don't want to duplicate.
I think it's kind of a double-edged sword because you know what I'm saying, I do think that, sports gets highlighted in our community as far as, you know what I'm saying, what young kids can aspire to be once they grow up. But I do feel like, you know what I'm saying, we are of the most athletic and the most capable of playing a sport, you know what I'm saying, in our culture. So I think it's a double-edged sword because you don't want to dim something that we're talented at, but then also you don't want to highlight it to make people believe or make kids believe that's their only way to becoming a millionaire or a billionaire or whatever the case may be. I don't know what the secret sauce is, secret pill is to kind of even out the course of being able to, kind of allow them to understand and dream a little bit more, get outside of the blinders, get outside of the environment around them to understand that there's many more opportunities out there to become millionaires. I think doing exactly what this man was doing is creating programs and spreading the word is part of the resolution instead of just being, kind of part of the problem. So I think as people continue to do that and as resources become available, as time goes on, more people starts to step out and come out with STEM programs, entrepreneur programs, mentorship programs, that type of thing. I think the tide will start to balance itself off a little bit. It just hasn't gotten there yet.
Gotcha. I think exactly what he's doing is it got to be offered. I was talking with a couple of people today, like about manufactured homes and stuff like that. I never really looked into it until I looked into it because of the stigma. And then once you look into it, you'll see that, hey, it's evolved and changed. You wouldn't know that until you in it, until it was offered, until you see it. So same thing with STEM. Like, hey, we glorify, especially in my, Gen X, we glorified ball. We glorified, that's what made my dad and my grandfather eyes get big. Like when they see a hit, when they talk about football, so you want to make them proud. You want to get on their map. So everybody huddled around the TV on Sunday to watch the Saints after church. So you want to kind of fit in. What if we took that same initiative about doing a Saturday program on STEM? Science, technology, engineering, math, and we huddled around that, and then people, children will start gravitating toward that. It's just we want to do, what's fun and what's socially acceptable. So all you have to do is make it, give a variety of choice. Let them make the choice, But we got to put it. It got to be on the menu. So for years and years, this never was on the menu. So with the guy like him, just put it on the menu, and then we got to make it cool. So we got to start implementing it and putting it. Hey, if you got children, don't just bring them to these sporting events. Bring them to some of these educational events. Let him make the decision. And then same excitement that you give for the ball game. If he participate in that, come with that same excitement when he do well in that, and let him have the choice from there. And then we'll start seeing more people participating in different activities. Because again, he demonstrated there's way more one way to get rich. Actually, that's a very, very small and narrow way to get rich. People getting rich in all kind of other ways. So starts early, instilling it in them and having that excitement and encouragement from an early age. Let me go to this cat right here. This guy been going viral, man. But I've been on it for a minute.
My team with me, I had like 4 or 5 guys, and they was like ready to give up because they was knocking in the rain and people weren't answering the doors. And then when they was answering the door, they was slamming the door in their face. You know what I'm saying? So they came to me like, man, I don't know what it is, but we not getting no sales. Can we go to the door with you so we can see what you're doing? Because we out here having fun in the rain and we out here about to give up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, come on, sure. So I took them to the doors. I had like 5 guys with me. So not the restaurant though, but yeah, I had 5 guys with me. And then I end up knocking on a lady door and she come out and just start snapping on us. As soon as she saw me and the guy, she was like, get off my property, whatever you're selling. I'm about to call the police. You do not. But she just snapped on us. You know what I'm saying? And I said like 2 or 3 things. I was like, well, I'm sorry to bother you, ma'am. Jesus didn't sell everybody. We're going to see you around like a donut. So before she closed the door, she was like, what did you say? I was like, well, I'm sorry to bother you. Jesus didn't sell everybody. We're going to see you around like a donut. And then she smiled and a tear dropped her eye. And she was like, you know what? She was like, you a Christian? I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, I apologize for the way I came off at you. Today just not my day. I wasn't looking to buy anything from a salesperson. I just got some bad news that I just lost my son in a car accident. And I was like, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Moment of silence for your son. And we just like did a little, like a moment of silence for her, you know what I'm saying? And then after we got done, we was really about to leave, you know what I'm saying? And then she was like, so what are you out here doing? I was like, I thought you never asked. I was like, we were a youth program. We out here selling this cleaner product. I'm training these guys how to do the right thing like Spike Lee. Thanks for not biting my head off. And then she just started laughing. She was like, you know what? I like your attitude and you out here in the rain. She was like, do it clean carpet because I got the spot on my carpet. I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, if it clean the spot on my carpet, I'm gonna buy it. So she let us come in the house. As we walking in her house, I see she had a gun on the table. And I'm like, don't shoot, man. We just the good guys. She was like, no, no, no. Let me tell you, right before you knocked on my door, I got the bad news that my son died in a car accident. I was just about to blow my brains out. She was like, but by your spirit and your attitude, you just changed my whole like energy and everything. And she ended up buying a bottle. And me and this lady still friends to this day. She got a real estate company doing good for herself. I ain't talked to her in like probably like a year or two. Last time I talked to her was like the end of 2021.
Yeah.
But it's just to show you that you never know someone going to. What if I would have been a nasty salesperson with a bad attitude because she snapped on me? You know what I'm saying? Two wrongs don't make a right. And just off of that, I was able to uplift this lady and save the life. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Like a real angel to her.
yeah. I had my team with me. I had like
Man, that's your
Amazing
boy.
story.
Huh?
It's an amazing story.
Yeah, I've been seeing him for a while. He go do the doorman shit. He a beast if we do. He a beast if we do that. You a dog. You do that. But yeah, he's very successful at night, going viral and stuff like that, doing his pitch to celebrities. At events and stuff like that, and so he's using that to go viral. I'm not sure he's been selling that same product. I hope he has a stake in that product. How long he's been selling that same cleaning product? But I mean, the lessons that I got from that is that it doesn't matter what somebody does to you. It's all about how you respond to it. And that's the real test. The real test is your reaction. Action's gonna happen. It's your reaction to them. So you can respond and go low and match their energy, or you could change the frequency. And and I rather stay high. Again, everybody I come across, I want to have you could have three different outcomes. A positive, negative, or neutral. Neutral is the worst one. So I want to work hard to have everybody I come in contact at least have a positive, and this work, a positive interaction with me. And then let's see, just like you do reps and you do these workouts. Let's see how it shapes the body. So that's the goal. Even if I'm having a bad day, even if somebody says something, I want to always flip it and transmute that energy to something positive. So that's what I get. Because what happens is, like he said, I think negativity. I used to have this on my refrigerator. Negativity begets more negativity. So you go down in the mud. It has no choices. What are the odds you think you go negative, it comes back positive? Most likely it's gonna go even more negative. So let's be for real. So spin it to a positive. Again, I don't need to go tit for tat. Like you said, two wrongs don't make it right. I don't need to go tit for tat. That's dumb. So I'm gonna be the higher person and go high on it. And then if they're still negative, just walk away. And that's my recipe. And that's it. I know it's work. Sometimes you don't feel like it. It's just like a workout. Sometimes you don't feel like working out. But everything is built. Don't forget you building. I'm building just like a ball player. You build your film up. So don't forget everybody gonna be judged. So your film is your day-to-day actions. So what you putting on wax, what you putting on film. So how many excuses? Well, I just had a bad day. You know better. Why you couldn't, So there's no excuse. React in a positive way because you know better. You got the blessing of discernment. So won't you go ahead and put it to action? It's your responsibility. You have to respond to your ability. You have the ability to do so. So do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it like that.
Man, you're saying we all human beings, so saying stuff happens. Sometimes saying just bad things or bad days seem to meet each other. If Kenny was having a bad day or whatever the case may be, saying, and then ended up having a bad day, that would have been a bad interaction. But they always tell you in the response of conflict resolution never to match the energy. If Kenny would have matched that energy, you know what I'm saying, he would have said something slick back to her. She would have said something slick back to him. Nobody knows she was about to off herself anyway. She could have easily grabbed that gun and started shooting at them. Killed one of them, two of them, three of them, whatever the case may be, because you know what I'm saying, at this point, she has nothing to lose. She doesn't care. So his reaction could have very well made that situation 10 times worse than what it was. And he wouldn't even known until it was too late. So I think, you know what I'm saying, anytime you run into situations like that, you know what I'm saying, it's in some days it's easier said than others. You definitely don't want to match the energy. Definitely when somebody kind of come at you combative like that, you know what I'm saying, you just kind of want to just kind of keep it neutral the same way he did, or make light of the situation and then just move on. Some people may come back, you know what I'm saying, and have a conversation and apologize just like she did. Some people may not. Some people just may move on being an asshole to the world. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, our main objective on everyday situations, when we run into life situations like that, is just to make it home to our families at the end of the day. And matching energies, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times is not even worth it at the end of the day. You just kind of keep it light. Don't get emotional with it, you know what I'm saying? That person was an asshole. The next person that you run into could just be polite and nice as all get out. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. So I think, you know what I'm saying, just kind of approaching life at a different tone will automatically change your perspective and change your attitude as you go throughout the day.
Right. I mean, like I said, also, you know, you don't know that next person, even if she continued, even if he didn't spin it to a positive, and like I said, and she didn't actually purchase for that next person might be purchasing, but you go negative. A lot of times it begets more negativity. Is now I'm down in the dumps. It takes me a little while to recover if I get into it with somebody, you know.
My sales pitch not as good to that next person because I'm thinking about the other one.
Right. I'm not as crispy. I'm not as on point because you didn't mess with my frequency. You mess with my spirit. So I got to kind of shove that off to get, brush that off to get right. It's still that recovery, So it's like it's not even worth it to go in the gutter because you're gonna get filthy. You gotta clean up. You know what I mean? So that's costly. So it's just not worth it. So I just stay away from people like that. Hey, try to spin it and keep it moving, keep it pushing. You know what I mean? So,
here's the other thing too, you know what I'm saying, is that sometimes, you know what I'm saying, like, even family members, friends, whatever the case may be, they may seem to get a little distant. You talk to them, you know what I'm saying, they may seem to have attitudes, bad days, whatever the case may be. The other lesson to be learned from this is, man, you never know what people are going through. And a lot of times when people get quiet or people have attitudes or whatever the case may be, chances are they got a big monkey on their back and they going through a lot. So, you know what I'm saying, you just have to approach it to where, you know what I'm saying, I'm not trying to pile on and add on to, you know what I'm saying, this downhill spiral. I'm trying to help uplift you. I'm trying to be one of them people that help change your mind, possibly save your life the same way he did. So, you know what I'm saying, I think these lessons need to be put out there in the forefront more so people can start to understand, start to see that, you know what I'm saying, let me try to change my attitude a little bit just because I don't know what other people are going through.
Right. All right, let's go to the next one. I don't know if I played this one last week, Stopping. I remember.
In his situation, he was getting like hundreds of millions of views, but people were saying that he wasn't making as much money as he should have. How much money do you think he possibly missed out on?
I believe Ashton Hall lost millions of dollars because that traffic was hot at that moment and there was nowhere for them to go. They were all looking at his stories. He was hooking us in with submerging his face in the ice water. That was the hook, the story. There wasn't really an offer, right? But the traffic was so massive there, but you couldn't do anything but follow him. So unless there was a strategy, if he would have simply just had something in his link in bio, he would have had so many leads coming in. So unless he didn't want him, he definitely lost out on millions of dollars that was just begging to figure out what he can get. He nurtured the audience, but they couldn't get anything more than what was on Instagram. And that's what's the important part about having that funnel, because you got the traffic. Now where can we take them?
Everybody started getting excited to talk about it. It was like they made like $20 million off of him.
And they didn't pay him nothing.
It's crazy. Ashton Hall, in his situation, he was getting like hundreds of.
I'll go ahead and take a stab at this one first, man. Like I said, we do this a lot. We don't plan, and a lot of people monetize off of our failure to plan. You know, I don't know if he was just thirst trapping or whatever, but he got. I think I noticed. I think I seen one of his videos before. But again, I never followed the guy, but I think I see one of his videos or suggestion before. But that was the hook with the fake, because you wondering what he doing with the. You know, you wonder, damn, you taking the spring water, the expensive spring water, and just putting your face in there. That's the hook, like you said. And then you follow him throughout there. He ain't not saying nothing. So you're looking for an explanation. So that's why it hooks you into the video. All right, what we doing? You know, so he took that, and before everybody started biting him and start doing kind of the same thing, that, like you said, the traffic was crazy because it hooks you in. And you try to see what's going on, but he had no product. All right, what's the end result? You got a lot of eyeballs on you. What's the fun it'll take them to get to monetize this? Didn't have one, and before you know it, the actual market got diluted. Everybody doing these same videos now. All their eyeballs went elsewhere. The people that actually had a product to sell, and the product that he was using all the time, I guess he was just using it for fun. I hope he reached out to them. They made $20 million off of him because sales spiked up. They were all right. There's water. All right, do we go buy that? And they went and bought it. You see what I'm saying? So, and I don't know if they didn't pay up nothing, or I hope he got like a free case or something. But they went to the bank on him. And I guess he hopefully got some DMs. I hope you got some attention. I hope you got something out of this deal, because now you got to go back to the drawing board. Your viral moment is gone. Yeah. And I don't think you promised more than one. You got one. Thanks for that. I'm still searching. I've been doing this 7-8 years now. I ain't got a viral moment yet. You see what I'm saying? So, well, I had one but it was on somebody else's page with the Ross beard and stuff like that. So, so I had I think a million. I think it had like 1 million plus, million plus views, and had like 80-something thousand comments. But most of the comments are how I look like Mark Henry. So I had one viral TikTok video in 8 years. So it's not promised. So you got to have your ducks in a row if you're gonna do something. I get it. You doing something is to see how it works, but you got to have an exit strategy. You got to have something to sell. Be ready to catch them dollars when they do. Unless you're just doing this for thirst trapping. Unless you're just doing this getting the club for free. I don't know. Again, I don't know. But they don't pay the bills.
Yeah. I think in most cases, I'm saying, in this situation, cats aren't prepared. That's just the fact of the matter. And then here's the other thing. I don't even think, the mindset is towards, hey, look, making millions of dollars off these videos. I think, Instagram and social media with these young people, are all about attention. To them, 1 million clicks on a video or something like that is the same as them getting $1 million, because they get so much attention. You get comments, you get people following you and all this other stuff, and the attention becomes like a drug. It becomes this high, and then you're chasing it forever, and it never dawns on you. It never dawns on anybody on your team, like, look, man, we don't have a trap. Like, we don't have anything that we're selling. We don't have anything that we're doing, because you're so busy chasing that drug, that high, that attention high. And I think the same thing happened in his situation, where, everything just kind of took off so fast. He's just making content. All he knows is, let me make content. Let me get content out there. Never quite dawned on him nor his team, because they've never been in that position before. So nobody ever thinks about, oh, well, we got to have some way to make videos or some way to make money. We got to have a funnel to send them to. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. Everybody after the fact can come up with something. Oh man, he should have did this. He should have did that. But I think in the moment you become so tunnel vision, they don't even think about that. Now, do they wish they could turn back the hands of time and take advantage of all that attention? Take advantage? Oh, for sure. For sure. Now that they know better, they will do better. But you have to get to that point. You have to go through that journey in order to figure that out. Now they probably have a funnel. Now they probably have a sales product or whatever the case may be. But I think, you know what I'm saying, it's just a learning curve of entrepreneurship. Like, you can't think of everything at all given times. And even though it was a big mistake, I think, you know what I'm saying, him and his team, they just didn't have the experience nor the knowledge to take advantage of that attention at that point.
Well, hopefully, like I said, if you watch the Power of Ownership podcast, this will, put it on your mind to actually have a product if you're going to, or have a strategy if you're going to go social media, not just willy-nilly make content for some likes, So, I mean, again, you can't spend likes, so, and then virility is getting harder and harder as it goes on, so as there's more and more people jumping into the pool. So have a game plan. Hey, if I do pop off, hey, this is the product. Let me go ahead and monetize, because 15 minutes of fame is more like 15 seconds nowadays. So, So go ahead and have a game plan before you spend all your money on the content, or put all your effort and energy in the content. Have an extra strategy.
Here's how much I made last month as a 53-year-old full-time content creator with 13 different income streams. And as always, pay attention to how much I got paid for views on each platform. Coming in last place, as she always will, is Instagram, $5.13. Up next, TikTok, $40.25. My high yield savings account, $155.66. My digital products brought in $210. My print on demand products brought in $305. Facebook paid me $554.94 for views. My affiliate income brought in $665.37. My newsletter subscription I have for my previous clients brought in $778. My one-on-one coaching was $1,683. My course brought in $1,760. My business investments brought in $3,243.09. That's not retirement. My small group coaching brought in $3,674. And coming in top place, as I knew it would because we're coming up on Q4, were my brand deals and my UGC work, which brought in $5,095.87. That brings my grand total for September to $18,070.53, which is a 21.2% increase from last month. This is why, as content creators, whether you are brand new or whether you have been doing this for years, it is so important to provide our own income, to be able to create our own revenue instead of relying on platforms to pay us what we are worth. Here's how much I made last month as a—
All right now, ma'am. Look, she said the hell with Social Security. I don't need that chump change. I'm making bread.
Right. I mean, I hope y'all replay this a couple of more times to really grasp all she said, because that one was layered, and a lot of people is gonna go over a lot of people's head what she said. First of all, I'm gonna try to unpack it quickly, because again, this is still from last week, so I'm gonna try to move swiftly on that. 13 streams of income. So it's not just, all right, I got all my ducks in YouTube, I got all my ducks in Instagram. Nah, it's 13 different spots she getting her bread from to make that 18 G's. Secondly, the most important thing that she said is that she got her own products, and she's using that platform to propel, like exactly the opposite of the previous clip. She has her group coaching, things like that, that's funneling the people that got eyeballs on her to spend money with her. That's the biggest of the actual pieces, besides her investments and other stuff like that. So that's a big piece. So as you can see, she got like $5 from, was it $5 from Instagram or $5 from TikTok? One of them. So it's not a lot of money from the views. Yeah. So from the views. So if you're just trying to get checks off the views, you got to be Mr. Beast status to get checks off the views. So you could use that, even if you got a niche of think about it, of 50,000 hardcore people. Not even that. If you got really a 1,000 loyal followers, tell them to give you $10 a month, and that's 10 grand on your Patreon. So you get 1,000 people that really cut for you, that's really loyal to you. You could do a lot of things with that, but it's a funneling thing. They really got to cut for you. You probably gonna need 50,000, 60,000 subscribers in order to get that real hardcore 1,000 people that really cut for you. Secondly, like I said, thirdly, she had other investments. That's another thing people didn't sleep on. Like she said it's not Social Security or not like retirement. This is other business investments. So the money that you're making, hey, what we want to do is take that 18 and get bigger house, bigger this, bigger that. Spend it. Nah, take that and reinvest it so it pays your residual. That was $3,200 of that $18,000 was just investment payoffs. That's that. So she got a nice, diverse portfolio that's bringing in. If one shut down, she got 12 more. So that's how you got to have it to where you got all these. And then I think in 2025, I got one paycheck. That ain't gonna cut it, man. There's so many ways that you can make money. Without and it all could be a synergy of one another. See, all that's like kind of propel off one another. She don't have to spend a whole bunch of time doing this to not focus on this. All of them flow in a certain pattern. Does that make sense? So I'll go ahead. While I look for the next one, I'll go yield the floor on that.
The biggest thing is, is that she has control over her own destiny. That's the biggest thing that you want to have. You work in a W-2 job, and that's the only job that you have. That's the only stream of income that you have. Your destiny is in somebody else's hands. If that company goes down or something happens to that company, they have control over your money because they can lay you off, they can fire you, they can furlough you, whatever the case may be, and everything stops at that point. She can choose at her given point, she has investments that's going to actually pay her. She can choose to ramp up her coaching. Her individual coaching, her group coaching, she can choose to ramp up the marketing of her actual products that she's selling, her print on demand that she has. Everything that she has, she has control over. And if one thing shuts down, she has 10 other things that's going on. The ideal is to lower your liability or lower your risk and also increase your income. Have multiple streams of income and take control of your life. That's the biggest thing. You are the CEO of your life. It's up to you how you want to run it. Do you really want to put that in somebody else's hands? I don't.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go ahead and run the next one because I got two. I think your boy pretty long with it. What is it? John Hope Bryan? I think I got two. Let me see. I want to get these knocked out before I even get to this week.
You said car loan at 620. You can go to a car dealership and get a Mercedes, but it'd be not a Mercedes, it'd be Mercedes payments.
40%
18,
interest.
18, 27, 40% interest. They wait for you to, that's a bomb. They can't wait for you to miss your 17th payment so they can take the car back and resell it. They can't wait for you for the car to break down because it's a used car, because a car dealership makes money three ways. Car sales, the least profitable, finance department,
maintenance.
And let's see, you're a proper capitalist. Maintenance. They can't wait for that to break down. We sitting there flossing, oh, I'm driving a Mercedes. No, you're driving a Mercedes payment. You're driving a bomb. 620, you can't get a decent car loan. 620, you can't get a home loan. Not a prime one. You need 700 for that. Don't even talk about a small business loan. That's risky credit. So we want to go to the bank and say, oh, the bank's racist. The bank may be racist. But let me tell you something. I'm not lending you money at 580 credit score. Me, and I love my people because you're a credit risk. And I was the largest minority owner of single-family rental homes in America. I own 700 homes. It was Promise Homes. I sold the company for $121 million 3 years ago. But I own 700 homes from Atlanta all the way up to North Florida. I know my people. I have 4 million clients at Operation Hope. I know my people and how we behave. Given the right tools, we kill it. We've been doing so much with so little for so long, we can almost do anything with nothing. Where the rules are published and the playing field is level, we kill it. The arts, professional sports, faith, church, politics. But no one told us the rules for capitalism or free enterprise. But yet we want to go into my comments and give me a lecture about something that's just, it's not even debatable. I'm sorry it breaks your heart or hurts your feelings. Our communities are damn noisy. And the reason I'm saying that is you can't create
You cannot create a patent is a monetized idea. You can't be creative in noise. You cannot do anything when you're distracted all the time with damn noise. You have to quiet your mind. So I wasn't even talking about a physical space. I was talking about a mental space. We are sitting there arguing about some stuff that don't even matter and missing the whole point. We're gonna have to fight this battle from the shoulders up. This is useless. This new battle. I haven't gotten into artificial intelligence. I haven't gotten into the future, which is gonna change by 2030. I'm just trying to get us out of our trauma. Get a decent car loan at 620. You can go to a car dealership and get a Mercedes, but it'd be not a Mercedes, it'd be.
I mean, yeah, he said a whole bunch there.
He was rapping on that one.
Yeah. I'm trying to unpack it. Yeah, I mean, we're notorious for, and I understand it now, and I've been part of that as well. You want it's the dopamine. You want, hey, I made it. That's why you want the Mercedes. That's why you want the BMW. It's a status symbol of I made it. So we don't look at the repercussions of it. We just want it, you know. And that way, we're looking at the friends and family with the oohs and ahs, and we want to be treated different. We want to be treated like we got money, like we rich. We've seen it on TV for long. We want the shortcut to getting that treatment without actually being it. So that if I could get this with a signature and a couple of $1,000 down, I'll go ahead and take that chance because it's a shortcut to how I want to be treated. And don't realize that it takes a lifetime, it takes maybe even generations of reconditioning in order for us to get this permanent treatment with respect and stuff like that. So, but I think it's we do that because it is trauma. It's conditioning. We're trying to overcome our trauma, and we're trying to get treated a certain way, but we don't have the discipline to actually become that. We want to skip our way to it. Secondly, what he said as far as I like what he said about how people miss points. You know that I see it. I experience it all the time, maybe on a weekly basis. People miss points all the time. When you talk about space and noise, yeah, I got what he was saying right off the bat. Not the fact that we outside barbecuing, is the fact that we got too much going on as far as distractions. You know, we worried about the wrong thing. You know, when you look in the all black neighborhood, everybody else in everybody else's business. You know, you're outside too much. And I seen this when I went back. I went back home. I did a breeding in Louisiana. First time back home since pandemic, since my daughter graduated college from Xavier. And I buried my grandfather. Well, it was right after. So I buried my daughter graduated. I buried my grandfather right after that. But that was my last time back home. But I forgot. You know, I forgot like the state that we're in. The same people sitting on the porch. The same people still sitting on the porch. You know what I mean? So amazing. You know, so I mean, all these years still sitting in front of the corner store, still sitting in front of the porch. How do you have time to just sit in front of the porch? You got a chair out, you just outside like that, you know? So it's amazing. So it's even when you have ample time to work and put a game plan together, you distracted by nothingness. Because you're looking for something to get distracted by instead of putting a game plan together. I had an epiphany this week, but you know, I had a couple of epiphanies, but one of the biggest epiphanies that I had this week is that now I see why my grandmother used to just sit there and do idle stuff. I used to think she was a neat freak, but she did that to keep herself busy. She said she'll sit there and wash the concrete. Like literally, like take a broom. She had like a broom, put Comet on the concrete and scrub the concrete. Like, you know, they're gonna be dust and it's gonna get back dirty, right?
Right.
You know, she'll do stuff like that. She'll scrub the house. What's she doing? So I had an epiphany, like, damn, that's why she used to do stuff like that. And then part of that coming from Louisiana and watching a little bit of that Bel Air, and I'm gonna tie both of them together. That work, that sense of accomplishment, that not sitting there idle, focusing, training your brain to sit there and focus on a task and accomplishing that task. Goes a long way instead of letting your mental muscles atrophy and just sitting there. You see what I'm saying? That's what I used to be doing. Like, hey, what's she doing? It's training your brain to do work. Do something. Be productive. You see what I'm saying? So, and I seen this in an epiphany. This is what led to the epiphany. I'm watching that Bel Air again. I don't really watch TV like that, but one of the biggest things that hit me is, when your boy came from Philly, his partner that got shot, right?
Yeah.
Remember that episode? He was like, yeah, man, we about to go eat. What suit you want? You want like, oh, suit? Man, we going downstairs. I ain't wearing no suit. Like, nah, partner, we changed to the suits over here.
Yeah.
We going to the phone, so we gonna dress up for the kids. Man, we going down. I'm not dressing up to go downstairs. I could, at first I thought about it. Like, damn, that makes a lot of sense. Because it's not the fact that I'm dressing up, it's to put that preparation in. I'm getting dressed. That work to enjoy this meal. Instead of just sitting there in my drawers, it's not gonna be as enjoyable if I sit there in my drawers.
Plus, ain't nobody want to see that.
Plus, anybody dress up, put perfume.
You talking about you out there with family, not with the wife. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to see that.
But you know what I'm saying? You dressing up, it makes you enjoy that meal because I worked a little bit.
Yeah.
To get this meal, it makes it a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's that work. It's that work. You gotta, and that's what I'm saying. All that to say this is our community is too damn noisy with the wrong type of noise. Gossip, idleness, mess, BS. So I don't want because I got another one of these clips. I don't want you. I'll run from now. Yield the floor.
Yeah, he went over a whole bunch, you know what I'm saying, what he talks about right there. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing, you know what I'm saying? It's a creatures of habit, you know what I'm saying? So when you end up with a credit score that's 580 or below, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, it just boils down to, you know what I'm saying, financial spending habits, financial literacy. A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, if we got our credit score that low, we just don't have the discipline in order to keep our score high. And then we don't have that discipline even when we are trying to purchase something, you know what I'm saying, and people are trying to tell us what we need to do in order to be able to get it or in order to be able to fix our credit. So like John Hope said, you know what I'm saying, look, he was in a single family. So, you know what I'm saying, he dealt with a lot of our people, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to purchasing houses. So I'm pretty sure whatever we deal with on a day-to-day basis as far as mortgage brokers, you know what I'm saying, he done did that tenfold, dealing with the numbers that he was dealing with. So he understands the habits of people. Like, people will say one thing and do absolutely another. So when it comes to 580 credit score, no, I wouldn't lend you my money because I know what your habits are. I've been in this thing long enough and ran into a lot of our people, you know what I'm saying, to understand that it's just a mental thing that, you know what I'm saying, we just can't get over for whatever reason. In a small percentage of numbers, you know what I'm saying, there's circumstantial situations, you know what I'm saying, people run into something, they just went through a bad situation, they're trying to crawl their way back. Get it. But in most cases, it's just, you know what I'm saying, we done went out there, you know what I'm saying, financially illiterate and just went out there, you know what I'm saying, and did the wrong thing and refused to do the right thing, even when we're charted the path in order to get back on track. So as far as the 580 goes, I'm with him. I wouldn't lend my money either. Now, I would lend somebody else money as a broker, you know what I'm saying? I would actually originate a loan with somebody else if they would allow for you, you know what I'm saying, or if you're able to get an approval to go through it. And then, you know what I'm saying, be able to get you the house. But a lot of the stuff that he talked about, especially with the noise, we do have a lot of noise that we actually take on, and it ain't good noise, it's bad noise. The biggest thing is, you know what I'm saying, to go down there and get a Mercedes. You go down there to a Mercedes dealership, you tell somebody you want to purchase a house, you tell a car dealership you want to purchase a house, guess what their car dealer is going to do? Man, you're going to look good riding up to your new house in that Mercedes Benz. And now they may have already just bought them a house, and they know it's a bad idea for you to purchase a car before you go buy that house. But guess what they're going to do? They're going to talk you into getting that car, because at the end of the day, it's all about sales. That's going to put you in a bad position and not allow for you to purchase the house that you want, because now you got this large debt in a car because you barely made it to get that car. Now you got this high interest loan that you got to pay back. So long story short, you know what I'm saying, a lot of stuff just don't make sense. And we got to get a lot more financially literate. And I don't know what the secret sauce is. I don't know what the secret pill is, but we got to get more financially literate and then stop putting these noises around us, these bad noises around us, and get focused on being able to excel ourselves and excel the next generation that comes behind us.
Gotcha. I got another part to that, so I forgot what he said again. It's been so long. So let me go ahead and run this.
Church was first business before it was anything else. 2,000 years ago, it was a business arrangement. And then it became spiritual, endowed with spirituality. And then it became about she's fine, right? And we get all hooked on the she's fine or he's handsome part. You'll realize when the looks fall away and the body drops, that's your business partner for life. If she's dumb as rocks, you got a problem. So it's not just about how fine you are, it's what's your credit score. You got to make smart sexy again. So my dad, my mom, because the number one cause for divorce is money. Everybody. Mom and dad over money. I watched it. And so they broke up and they lost everything. My dad lost everything. My mother went to go live with a girlfriend of hers. Her girlfriend's boyfriend was OC. I fell on his porch. I was swallowing my tongue. I was 6, 7 years old. He saved my life, hit me between my shoulder blades, back of my neck, caused my throat, my tongue to come forward. I was choking. So I love this dude, man. I didn't know him. Like, this is my hero. I didn't realize pride. Ambassador Young says that men and women fail for 3 reasons: arrogance, pride, and greed. I didn't realize that OC had pride, and he didn't want to tell my mother that he couldn't take care of his family and our family in his house at the same time. If he told my mother that, my mother was working at McDonnell Douglas Aircraft, she would have helped him. She would have pitched in, but he didn't say that. He's like, I got it. I'm good. We're good. Well, he wasn't good. He worked a regular job, but then he had to get some extra money. So we ran around the corner to sell some marijuana. He wasn't very good at it.
Damn.
And the guys who thought that was their corner followed him home. And I'm sitting on the porch waiting for the guy to come home who saved my life. And they hit him in front of me in a truck. I remember it was a lifted truck. And they waited for him to get in front of the house. We would get the full trauma and get the message. And they hit him from behind and dragged him. He was on a bicycle. And they dragged him down the street until he was dead, with the bike and his body. And I could see it just like I was talking to you, like it happened yesterday. That was over drugs. That was really over money. So the divorce was over money. My mom and dad fighting was over money. We lost all our assets over financial illiteracy because we didn't understand money. The guy who saved my life lost his life over money. My best friend was murdered over money. So by the time I was 9 years old, there was only one constant: money, and we didn't understand it. And I saw all these brilliant people in my neighborhood: prison, probation, parole, death. I'm like, no, I'm not going out like this. So I started looking around. I became nosy. And I'm like, okay, everything we've been doing hasn't worked. So there's got to be another way. There's got to be a way out of this. Marriage was first business before it was anything else.
I don't know. I think we played this one, right?
We did.
Okay, gotcha. Why you stop me?
I mean, it was a good message. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was so nice we had to run it back twice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it ain't a bad thing for them to hear it again.
Gotcha. But we had reacted to that. I realized like in the middle of it. All right, cool. So let's start. That was the end of the last week's. Let's go ahead and start with this week here. And then we'll rock from there. Here we go. Now that's still last week. Let's go ahead with this week right here. Hold on, that last week was a long time. Last week.
It was only last week.
All right, cool. All right, cool. Let's run this again. I don't have no necessary order. I forgot what's what, so I'm gonna just run it.
All right.
Do you agree or disagree? 80,000 a year, paycheck to paycheck in this economy. Do you agree or disagree?
Agree.
80,000?
You said 80,000?
Yeah,
a
80,000.
year?
Yeah, 8,000 a year. So that's like what? That's probably like after taxes. That's probably like 19.
80,000?
Yeah, 8,000 a year.
Paycheck to paycheck?
Yeah, is it paycheck to paycheck pretty much? This economy. That's pretty much like 2,000 every 2 weeks after taxes.
That's not nothing.
Man.
It's not, but it's not nothing. I don't know.
All right. So now I'm gonna ask this, right? If you are making 80,000, how do you suggest to live to make things meet?
Paycheck. $2,000 every 2 weeks. $2,000 every. That's not nothing.
Do you know the average salary in America?
The average salary in
60.
America. That's 60,000.
63, I think.
Honey.
Yeah, 63.
So 80,000. So that is above average. It probably is above average, but that's not nothing. Yeah, that's still a struggle. But hey, I'm a black woman. If you're living above your means, it's gonna be a struggle.
Yeah.
It's not even living above your means, honey. If I pay my rent, I have bills. That's not including the necessities that I need, the kids that I have to take care of. That's not lower. That's paycheck. Yeah, for me at least. I don't know about nobody else. I don't know. Maybe for me, I don't have any responsibility. So. We know. Yeah, that would be.
I think it depends on how you live, though. I would agree.
I guess you living in a.
You gotta really live.
Tight.
You gotta really, right. You gotta
real
be very
tight.
frugal, right?
Real tight.
Do you agree or disagree? 80,000.
So this is where we at now. 80,000 a year is paycheck to paycheck.
Man, look, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, anytime you put a camera on and stick a mic in front of them, they got to put on. But, you know what I'm saying, I commend the one in the middle. The one in the middle seemed like, you know what I'm saying, she was the more realistic one. And truly, you know what I'm saying, sounded like the more financially responsible one, too. And the other one that was down there, you know what I'm saying, at the bottom of it, you know what I'm saying, my thought is, you know what I'm saying, that she probably ain't got a pot to piss in and one to throw it out of, but yet, you know what I'm saying, she had the most opinions about 80 grand wasn't nothing. The other one, I think, was just kind of piggybacking. She didn't know who to actually go after, you know what I'm saying? She was kind of the tiebreaker. So she ain't really just kind of, to me, she ain't really just kind of, you know what I'm saying, stick her feet in the sand one way or the other, you know what I'm saying? She was just kind of slow rolling back and forth. But to me, you know what I'm saying, it's just crazy. Even after he gave the fact that the average salary is $63,000 in the nation, you know what I'm saying, they still double down to 80,000 is paycheck to paycheck. So, you know what I'm saying, one, I don't think they're qualified to even ask that question, but it is entertaining. Because obviously, you know what I'm saying, they got some clicks and some views on that video just because of that response.
Right. I think it's loaded with that. I think it's unrealistic expectation. I think what happened with the social media era, we want too much. We become too, as my grandmother used to say, big-eyed. you know, and they used to be more content with, you know, I'm looking at the house that I grew up in before they added on to that house. That house was a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, you know, and they were happy that they're homeowners. And they have to have the biggest house. It was about the Mercedes in the house. They had a car, they had a house, they had clothes on their back, they had food on the table. That was doing well. You know, now I got to eat out 3-4 times a week. Not only eat out, I can't eat at what's the name of that restaurant that went viral? I can't eat at what you call them?
Well, the Chili's. Well, they're not Chili's.
The other one.
I can't think of that name. I can't think of that name.
Yeah, but I can't eat there. I got to eat here. You know, so
Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory, which is a perfectly fine restaurant.
Yes.
You know, so nothing wrong with it. It's actually kind of, you know, for a lunch, that's a decent lunch. You know,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? In the grading of, you know what I'm saying, restaurants, it's on the upper end of restaurants. It ain't no Morton's, but it ain't no damn Chili's either. You know what I'm saying? Like
so now we too good to eat at Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
You know, and it's getting ridiculous. They trying to make frugal, you know, like lame. You know, they're trying to make, you know, hey, I'm good with my money. I don't like to blow my money. That's become like lame. Oh, you too tight. You know, so I think that's an issue. I think we need this. One of the big red flags in our community. Again, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the nation can rise no higher than its woman. If a lot of our women have that mentality, that's going to keep us stuck financially in the mud because, again, it's too big-eyed, too, you know, your expectation. You got to temper your expectations. What about a guy that has a good, decent job and just knows how to manage his money? Do we have to have Cheesecake Factory or Plus every week? I remember, man, we used to have, you know, Popeyes. That was eating out. That was a luxury. McDonald's, that was a treat. You know, so that's why it hits the word Happy Meal. We're happy to have that meal. You know, so it's become, you know, now we had the going viral. Hey, not only I gotta buy my kids Happy Meal, I gotta buy other kids Happy Meals. You know, it's getting too much. It's too, especially for these guys nowadays. You know, like I said, it's too much expected of men, of guys, and it's really primarily in our not just our community, but it's Western civilization period. We got to stop with the social media trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to outdo each other. You're not a baller. Everybody can't ball.
Yeah,
everybody's not ballers. What happened to just people just living? All right, I'm a regular degular person. I'm making. I got bills. I got a nice car, and I got roof over here. I got AC. I'm lifing. That's looked down upon. You got to be VIP. You got to have tables. You got to have this. You got to have ice. It's too much.
Yeah,
it's too much. Too much. It's too much pressure.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
And then, you know what I'm saying, here's the other thing too, you know what I'm saying, is that the other thing about it is it's crazy. It's crazy to think that, you know what I'm saying, just because the girl in the middle was being financially responsible or sounding like she was financially responsible, it's almost as if the other girl was kind of trying to clown her or make her feel bad for being financially responsible. Right. You know what I'm saying? When it should be like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Well, look, you tighter with your money than me. You know what I'm saying? You better than me with your money, or whatever case may be. Well, good for you, girl, if you can do that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't none of that. You know what I'm saying? Well, we know you can do that. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing, that type of sarcastic stuff, you know what I'm saying? Which is crazy because now you have people, you know what I'm saying, that are not necessarily mentally strong enough kind of take heed to that. They don't want that criticism. They don't want that kind of interaction. You know what I'm saying? So then now they start to try to change their mindset. Like, oh, well, maybe I am wrong. Maybe I do need to spend, you know what I'm saying? End up in the same position that they're in. Would not have popped the piss in or wouldn't have throw it out of, but I look good for social media. I look good for the gram. So, you know what I'm saying? Long story short, you know, that was just a bad interaction all the way around when you kind of dissect it a little bit. But Look, it's just what we've been dealing with, you know what I'm saying, and what we're going to continue to deal with until further notice, from what I can see.
Gotcha. I got. I scrolled down. I got some good clips. So let's go ahead and get a move on. At least get like the meat of them. I mean, get some bolts. Got a little controversy.
I really hate black people who come in here, ask for 3 snickerdoodles, right? I'm like, okay, cool. She like, wait, how much was these? I was like, it's like 8 something, right? She said it was like $3 or something. I said, yeah. She said, how much is a 6-pack? I said, like, 16 something. I don't know why she asking me when the shit right there up on the board. Like, can you not? Like, I say 16 something. She looking at me and shaking her head. No. I just work here. The fuck you telling me no for? I just work here. Fuck, I ain't make the price. She like, oh no, all this, that, and the third. I give her cookies. She gonna say, are they warm? Nah, they not warm. I'm gonna just give them to you frozen. You gotta heat them up to your damn self. Mind you, when you enter the building, there's this big old text talking about some warm cookies. It's like, y'all got no common sense. Y'all don't know how to read. Like, come on, bruh. And you got no teeth ordering cookies. Yo.
Like I said, this dude is super exaggerated. Who's right and who's wrong? And then, like I said, as far as you got to take some accountability. You have a uniform on. You're an attendant. You work here. You should answer questions. What I've noticed, and when I train people, and I used to train people in retail, people are not asking the question to get the answer. They're asking the question to get you to interact with them and engage. Duh. It's not that they want the answer. They can get the answer. It's a cry for engagement. And that's part of the thing of being in retail is that I could order cookies online. I could order, Uber Eats or DoorDash, whatever. They come in the store to interact with a person. That's part of the reason why they're paying a premium price is for that human interaction. Other than that, I replace with a robot. Part of that human interaction is why it's part of the price tag. That's what you get paid for. The smile and, hey, have a blessed day. That will make them feel good with their purchase. That's what you're paying for. That is your job. Thank you, sir. So if you don't want to have that responsibility in waiting on customers at a retail, go somewhere where you work remote, where you can work from the house, because that's part of the job. I'll go ahead and yield the floor.
So I look at it from a completely different standpoint. Number one, you know what I'm saying? I don't care where I'm working at. Dumbass questions is dumbass questions. But I think he misinterpreted what she was really trying to say. When she was asking that question, you know what I'm saying, how much is such and such cookies, how much is such and such cookies, and she was shaking her head. People of that caliber, you know what I'm saying, that does that, truly believe that because we're black, you're supposed to give me a discount. Like, you know what I'm saying, this ain't your money. This is the company money. You just getting your $7 an hour or $10 an hour, whatever it is that you're getting. So I'm going to ask you, hey, man, you know what I'm saying, how much is such and such cookies? I see what's on the board, but I want to know what you're going to give me for the black discount. Are you going to give me 2 cookies for $1? Or are you going to give me, you know what I'm saying, 6 cookies? Man, if I order 6 cookies, man, I give it to you for $2. I give them to you for $3. That's what she was expecting for him to say. And she's shaking her head because she's just like, they got you, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, in her mind, she probably like, these white folks got you tap dancing for them. You won't even give me no discount on these cookies. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you're entitled to give her a discount on these cookies. Like, you know what I'm saying? The price is the price. I'm not finna lose my job over here, you know what I'm saying? Just because you feel like you have this black entitlement. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So long story short, you know what I'm saying? I think he missed that. And I think the simple fact of, you know what I'm saying, her asking if it was warm was her being agitated because he didn't give her the discount. Now I'm going to ask some stupid questions because I'm trying to annoy the hell out of you. So I think the whole interaction, and I'm not taking for the fact that it was probably annoying to him and probably a little bit of frustration. I get that part, you know what I'm saying? But I think he missed the whole point of what she was really trying to get to. And it was that. Now, that's not to say it was right definitely not right. But you know what I'm saying, I just think in a lot of these situations, we just have there's white privilege, there's black privilege that people don't talk about. And I think in most black privilege cases, we think that just because we're here and we see the same and we got the same color skin, you automatically supposed to give me something that I'm not supposed to have. And it's unfortunate.
See, and I think this is the problem with our community. A lot of assumption, and they got to be somebody that throw the gauntlet down on the olive branch to break the trend. And until then, we're gonna be at a stalemate. Didn't we talk about earlier in the podcast about having the interaction be positive? You know, so you assuming why not give her the benefit of the doubt that she wants engagement? Why assume the worst? And we do this all the time with us. We assume the worst of our people, but you get a different nationality, different persuasion, and we assume the best. Why not give her the benefit of doubt until otherwise stated? Because I'm pretty sure if that was the case, he would have stated that, because he's stretching for any way to do what's called confirmation bias, where you already have a confirmation in your head, you bias based on those confirmations in your head. So I'm pretty sure if she would have said discount, he would have touted that all over. But she didn't even say that. Give her the benefit of the doubt, react positively, and always take the high road, and then use that energy to transmute the situation. I think he was kind of being whiny, not really wanting to work. That is your job as an attendant, not just to ring up the cookies, or what we call clerking, but to give the customer a great interaction. And then the last thing I disagree with you on, the only stupid question is the unasked question. That's what my mentor, Master Mac, always used to say. The only stupid question is the unasked question. Because if you don't know, you're assuming that person knows. We don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So it can't be a dumb question. You don't know what you don't know. If she's asking the questions, maybe she can't read. How do you know?
In theory, I hear you. You ain't never been asked a dumb question before, B?
I don't say so. I don't look at it like that, because what happens is what's hot, what's cold. At what particular temperature does hot turn into cold? It's all subjective. It's all on the person. What's hot to you may not be hot to me. What's dumb to me might not be dumb to you. That might be a legitimate question in their mind. So what exactly is dumb? It's all subjective. At what point all right, now this went from logical to dumb. What is that point? We don't know. It's a sliding scale. So instead of just assuming that it's dumb, that person might not have the same IQ as me. So it might be dumb to me, but it might be a legitimate question to them. So give them the benefit of the doubt. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So who knows? Again, with these new generations, that might be a legitimate question.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Maybe she didn't see the sign. Maybe she didn't see the sign and say,
yeah, maybe she can't. Maybe she can't read. I don't know, but I'm going to engage. I'm actually going to engage positively. So that knocks out everything. So I responded to my ability. You know? So
I got you.
And I'll leave it like that. Now, this is the flip side. Let's take a look at what would you do in this situation. I wanted to put this here.
All right.
These kind of go together.
Oh, there's too much ice. Too much ice. Too much ice. Get that back. That's too much ice. Do not play with me. Do not play with me. That's too much ice. Ice. Don't play with me. You didn't just try me like that. I'm finna get out. Let me see. Can I get honey mustard? Much better on the job. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
You must always have respect, especially with the people who make your food. How dare you? Whoever raised you failed you. Or I'm going to take that drink back, and it's going to come back light on the ice, but heavy with something else. Disrespectful.
I was about to say.
No.
Oh, this.
Now, I disagree with her about the last part. Again, two wrongs don't make it right. So I'm never gonna play with people's food because I believe in karma. So I'm not gonna play with people's food. However,
I never did fast food, B, but you don't mean self-consciously, you know what I'm saying? You don't think about if you're rude to a waiter, a waitress, whatever the case may be, or especially if you rude in the fast food, you know what I'm saying? You don't think they're gonna do something to your food?
Yeah, for
you
sure.
Don't think
That's
you
what
don't
I'm
think,
always-
okay.
that's-
Well, I'm just saying I never worked at a fast food spot. I ain't never did no stuff like that.
Right.
But it's a natural thought, you know what I'm saying, that come to your mind that somebody gonna do something to your stuff.
Right. No,
Anyway,
I'm talking about. He said I take the ice in it, but I might put it heavy on something else. I never would do that. It's not in me to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
it's not in you to do that.
Right,
But are you saying
I
that
know-
it's not capable for
Yeah.
somebody else
For
to do?
sure. For
Oh,
sure.
okay.
But that's
Okay.
that's why I'm always polite. But I disagree with him on that side. I wouldn't do that. But if he
I
was
got
to
you.
do
I
that
got
to
you.
me, but
got
I mean, again, there are now that is an a-hole customer. You know, he's being extra. He's doing too much. You know, again, I commend her for not really responding. She didn't give her attitude. She did her job. She kept rolling. You know, again, you at McDonald's, sir. What you expect? You expect, 5-star service at McDonald's? People make mistakes. These are unskilled workers, so you gotta
should have went to Chick-fil-A, they would have been light on ice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want them to not mess up your order and stuff like that. You might want to step up, put a little bit more money in it. Get what you pay for. So, but you don't have to be, you do what you want. But I don't put negative stuff out there because everybody's human beings. We might not be equal as value as far as where we at on as far as production, as far as earthly, but we all still human and we all equal.
Correct.
So I wouldn't have treated her like that.
Just about being respectful, man. You know what I'm saying? Period. It could have actually went left. And then just like we talked about on the earlier video, you know what I'm saying? Like she chose to be neutral. She ain't choose to match that energy. You know what I'm saying? She just took the drink back. She ain't throw the drink at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have went way left.
Right.
But again, this is what the young generation is, man. You know what I'm saying? He had that camera placed down there on that floor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Recording. So he putting on for the camera, you know what I'm saying? Because he know he gonna post a video.
Right.
And he trying to get attention, trying to go viral or whatever the case may be. It's just like, man, you know what I'm saying? Just cats are becoming attention whores, and it's sad to see.
Right. And that's another thing. That's why what gives you damn near phobia going in public, because people, that viral moment is more important than respect.
Correct.
So let's go and keep it moving because I got quite a few. This is one that's been going viral here this week. Let's check this out. See where you're at on this.
Are you gonna hit me or something?
What the fuck I'ma hit you for, Samaya? I don't got no beef with you. Your beef is with me.
I don't even talk to you. What are you talking about?
I called you to make sure that you had a ride to work. I don't have to give a damn about you getting to work, Samaya.
No, you didn't. You told me that I had to pay you to get to work. And
I said, do you have some money? Because I don't have none. And then I said, Buzz, I got $10. But what I'm trying to tell you for next time is that you can't depend on me to pay my money and my gas to get you to and from work. That's not my responsibility. You can't get mad because I'm telling you gotta buy your own food. You're an adult. That's not my responsibility.
So you're not my mom no more because
Buzz, I'm here to help you. I'm not here to put your gas in a bill.
What have you helped me with? You haven't taught me how to drive. You haven't given me no money to put towards school. You have not done nothing else.
When do you brush your teeth?
Okay, so
Who
what?
been washing $100 a month.
Barely.
But it doesn't even matter, bub. All I asked for was $50 to $100 out of that. That would still left you with no. I said when you get paid. Every week. To $100. I didn't know when you got paid. That's why I asked you. Either way, you would have still had a bulk of money left, Buck. All I said was help me. So you're causing me to have to pay gas.
All right, so let's hear it, man. Who right or wrong, man?
Man, what you think? Mama right, Kyle wrong. Shit, anybody would say that.
Right.
Like, but that's that, you know what I'm saying? That's that entitlement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, oh, because you my mama, you know what I'm saying? You supposed to do everything for me, and then I go spend my money on some stupid stuff out here. I know you struggling, but that's your fault. That's your problem, not mine.
Right.
But I still need you to show up for me every single day to take me to work. And I just, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna keep my money and not help out. That just go to show you what type of child you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, you know what I'm saying, you know, even though she threatened it to her, you know what I'm saying, she ain't gonna get out there and get out on her own. Because now, you know what I'm saying, if you get out there in that real world, you ain't gonna be able to get away with all that stuff. And you know that.
Right.
So you're gonna sit there and try to take advantage of mama as long as possible and try to send her on that mama guilt trip just so you can take advantage. But I mean, you know what I'm saying, it ain't much to say about that. That ain't even no question. You know what I'm saying? Mama definitely in the right. And here's the thing that I add to that. A lot of times mamas kind of want to baby the children, you know what I'm saying, and do this, that, and the third. Now, I don't know if it's circumstance that made her force her to want to, you know what I'm saying, to help out or try to help out or request to help out. A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, it's unfortunate where somebody else has to step in and make the mama see she's taking advantage of you. Like, you know what I'm saying, you driving her to work, wasting your gas, and chances are she probably works 30, 45 minutes from the house. So you got to go there, drop her off. Then you got to turn around and go back and pick her up. You wasting your gas money. She living here rent free and she can't pay you $50 or $100, you know what I'm saying, just to kind of make it, knowing that you're struggling. Like, you know what I'm saying, for the mom to be able to see that, I commend the mom on that. But when it comes to right and wrong, this ain't even no contest. This ain't even no question.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and hear me out. I disagree.
Okay, let's hear it.
Mom's fault.
All right.
You know, a couple of reasons. Number one, who raised her?
Okay.
You raised her. This is a product of your rules, regulations, and what you molded. Secondly, why hadn't the rules been set from the get-go? Like, all right, I'll take you to work, but I need gas money. This is the say, all right, when you get your job, I need X amount out of the job. I need X amount per set. And I know, guess I need to find out how you get paid. That communication should have been there from the get-go. Then the last thing is, why you wait till you get pressed? My grandfather always used to tell me, why you wait till you press to say you got to use the restroom? Then and every time it's a rush to the toilet because you about to piss on yourself. As soon as you feel that tug, you need to go ahead and say you need to go to the bathroom. No, don't wait till you get pressed. So why she wait till she starts struggling, or wait till she need the money, really need the money to start going there and put your foot down? You know, so she should have set them rules from the get-go. Don't forget that you get the treatment that you put up with. I wouldn't have allowed her in my house without setting some ground rules first. Like, all right, you need to get a job by X amount of time, and then I need X amount to help out around there, and that's the rules. You know, and I'm gonna communicate it with that. So instead of being all this hoopla and all this, you know, because now she didn't really plan ahead. She kind of reacted. She was reactionary. So now you kind of created this mess. So, and of course, I'm not letting the daughter off the hook. Daughter's in the wrong too, but it was bad parenting. It was bad parenting and lack of communication that led to the situation. So I'll leave it like that.
I say this, you know what I'm saying, to rebut that, you know what I'm saying, life be lifing, right?
Right.
How many times have we all set out, you know what I'm saying, on one plan and then things have changed just because life does what it does. Now, that doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, the mom, more than likely, was probably just going to be like, okay, well, look, if I got it, I can take you. I'll just take you. I'm not going to even ask. I'm glad you went out and got a job. I'm glad you're not sitting up here on your ass. You ain't pregnant. You ain't got a child, whatever the case may be. I'm going to be here for you. Car broke down, cost me $600-700. You know what I'm saying? I had to spend the money on that for us to even have a car to be able to go back and forth. Now I don't have it. Circumstances change. Now I need to ask you for money. So I think hindsight is always 20/20. It's easy to say, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? You should have set those rules, everything up front. Well, you know what I'm saying? What if the situation was the same as it was up front?
Well, that's where planning come in. Even if I didn't need the money at the particular time, I would take the money just to teach her responsibility, and I'll set that to the side for when I need an emergency, or even put it in a high interest savings account that earns some interest. And then I was surprised with, hey, that money that you've been kicking, here you go, here you go back. But I'm going to money just to show you that responsibility.
Oh Lord.
You know what I'm
Correct. But just everybody don't think like that.
No, it's the
everybody
thing.
Didn't think like that.
We learned this in the 80s with the Theo Hustable stuff.
No. Not everybody live by the same Cliff and Theo, you know what I'm saying? The whole, you know what I'm saying, the whole Cosby show, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody live by that motto. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody live by the Bel Air motto. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody parent a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So even though we would not have had that, you know what I'm saying, it's unfair for me. It's unfair, you know what I'm saying, to put that on the mother just because, you know what I'm saying, she didn't think of that stuff or handle it the way we would have handled it up front.
Gotcha. Let's go ahead and hit this next one real quick.
Homeless, 6 kids, 4 baby daddies, and then have the nerve to come on the internet talking about we listen and we don't judge.
So yes, I am pregnant. Pregnant with my 6th child. This is gonna be my 4th baby daddy. Yes, it's true. It's true. Yes, I am homeless. I'm homeless. I'm living out of my car. I'm living out of hotels. I'm living from pillar to post. Okay, I have no job. Yes, I have no job. Okay, we listen and we don't judge. I have no job. I'm 35 years old, living out of my car, pregnant, not with the baby daddy, by myself. Could life get any worse? Possibly. I mean, I could step out tomorrow and get hit by a car. And then we're in the hospital. Shit, that would not be good. So the next time somebody comes to my comments asking me questions, refer back to this video. Yes, I know I'm old as okay. Got a hell of a lot of kids. I'm homeless. And I'm broke. But guess what? I'm still alive and I'm living and I'm grateful and I can see and I can hear and I can smell and I can enjoy my babies. And I'm living and I'm healthy. I have my health. So yes, it's hard. My life's a mess. But the great thing about being at the bottom is the only way up is up, huh?
What's that to be smiling and happy about? You're happy that you're homeless and broke, inconveniencing these babies. I am not against having a big family, but when you're going to do it like this, then that's where the problem comes in, because why are you having all these kids but you can't take care of them? Pregnant, homeless, 6 kids.
Let's tell
commend on the attitude.
Huh?
Said I commend on the attitude.
All right. So who right the dark skin sister of the light skin?
Man, it's tough. Now this one here is tough.
All right.
This one here is tough. Like, look, this is no matter. You know what I'm saying? Like 6 kids, 4 baby daddies, nothing to be proud of, for sure. Right. But I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? It's the circumstance that you've been given. It's the cards that you've been dealt. You know what I'm saying? You made the decisions. You got to lay with them, right? So what do you expect her to be? You know what I'm saying? Crying all on the camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn near suicidal. You know what I'm saying? And she has 6 kids. Like, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? What you want her attitude to be? My thing is, you know what I'm saying? If your attitude is upbeat, at least, you know what I'm saying, you have enough energy to get up there and do something about it. Get up there and find somewhere for you and your kids to stay, even if it's a shelter or whatever the case may be. You still have a little life left in you. I'm just not understanding. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to brag about, but hey, this is the card you dealt with. What you wanted to do? Like you wanted to be down, crying her ass out. You know what I'm saying? Eyes out. You know what I'm saying? Now the baby start to feel that energy. You know what I'm saying? Now they start to feel that energy because mama's sad. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. So, anyways, this is a tough one. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody in the right on this one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I get this is my synopsis of it. And a lot of sisters, a lot of black women are they're harsh. I get what she's saying as far as taking responsibility, making better decisions, especially in her situation. However, you got to commend her on, at least having a positive mental attitude. So with that, she could change. Everything is mental. She could change her situation overnight. Like I said, she has her help, so she could change the situation. Get, with the right person and get on the program, get with the right organization or something like that, and start making better decisions. So she still has a lot of life left, so she could change the situation. Also, like you alluded to earlier, if she's down, if she's depressed, that don't forget these babies are like sponges. They're gonna soak up all that energy as well, and then that traumatizes them,
Right.
subconsciously, So by her remaining mentally strong is commendable. However, she needs to be mentally strong with that pull-out game or with that, with the hats,
the birth control game.
That birth control. So can you have a positive mental attitude about that pull-out game? About that, what I'm saying?
Racist.
About that abstinence, stop raw dog and stop Michael Jordan. So can you convert that to that? So she has the mental capability. She just needs the right guy. Like, hey, look, take this energy and use that towards crossing them legs. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't. Hey, look, that just shows you how grimy the world is. You know what I'm saying? This chick got 5 kids by, I don't know, 3 or 4 baby dad, whatever it was at the time. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, and you still gonna raw dog in. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Knowing she's fertile, she got that many kids. Like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing?
I've always said that something you got to really examine the mental capacity of the 4th, 5th baby daddy type cats. What are you thinking? What is your background? What is your family background? What kind of traumas you've been through to put yourself in that situation? That's like, all right, I know this. I know this road leads to like a cliff, and I'm gonna go off of the cliff, but I'm still gonna drive this road anyway. So, and then you bounce too. So obviously he's not with her because she's still homeless. Or he homeless and yet they're homeless together.
And then and she can't be getting any child support. So I mean,
if she just racked off child support, she could definitely get a Section 8.
You goddamn right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know. I don't know. I don't even understand. You know what I'm saying? There's so many questions in a situation like this. So many questions, not enough answers in one Instagram video.
Right. But I do commit. Attitude is a good place, a good starting place. But she made some bad decisions. You know what I mean? So we'll go from there. This was an interesting one. I just had to put this in there to put stuff in perspective. I don't know if it goes with anything here.
Picture on social media and thought it was pretty funny. It begs the question, are you afraid to sit on public toilets? There's 3 reasons why you should not be afraid to sit on public toilets. Firstly, your skin is a strong barrier. Simply sitting on a toilet seat rarely results in germ transmission into our body. Secondly, most toilet germs quickly die when exposed to dry surfaces. And thirdly, there are a lot of surfaces that we commonly come in contact with that have more germs than toilet seats. Your computer mouse, your computer keyboard, TV remote, and your cell phone is 125 times dirtier than a toilet seat. Even grosser than that, door handles, shopping cart handles, and light switches are 105 times dirtier than toilet seats. A little bit nastier, restaurant menus, 925 times dirtier than toilet seats. Your kitchen towel or dish rag, 2,000 times dirtier than a toilet seat. Then we have the absolute worst. Gas pump handles, 10,000 times dirtier. Off desks, 50,000 times dirtier. And your kitchen sponge, 50,000 times dirtier than a public toilet seat. Bottom line, it's not toilet seats that are making us sick. It's poor bathroom habits. Usually people not washing their hands. 50% of men do not wash their hands after using the bathroom, 25% of women, and only a very small percentage of people wash their hands correctly with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. So we should not be afraid of toilet seats. We should be afraid of dirty hands. I saw this picture on.
I just thought that was interesting, man. Interesting. 50% of men, 25% of women don't wash their hands coming from the bathroom.
That's crazy.
And we shaking hands, dapping up. Then you
Hey,
go,
look,
yeah, man.
Hey, look, I done been in Buc-ee's many a time, you know what I'm saying? Boys, you know what I'm saying, you use that urinal and they zip it up and they walk straight up out of the damn bathroom.
Right. They go to the fountain drink.
They all ain't gonna find it. No, ain't no washing hands. Hey, look, ain't even getting no disinfectant, none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They walk straight up on out of there, you know what I'm saying, and going out there trying to touch somebody's food that's sitting up out there. So it's 100% true.
Right. So yeah, gas station handlers, man, they should. Only a few I've seen the hand sanitizer outside. That's what they need outside. You know, or
they need it outside. Knowing that the staff ain't gonna go out there and sanitize them damn handles. They don't even touch them handles.
Right. They never get touched. They never get. Whoever cleans the gas pump handle.
But nobody ever cleans the gas for 100. That's why I keep disinfecting inside the car. Every time I finish pumping, I'm pumping with one hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm touching all the pump. I'm touching it with one hand, and then I'm getting inside the car, putting instant hand sanitizer on. 99.9. So I'm putting it on twice. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I get it. I ain't trying to get no germs, none of that stuff, man.
Right. That's crazy, man. You know, so but I'm still not sitting on public toilet. I'm still wrapping I'm still wrapping everything up like a mummy.
And 100%, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna say, I've always been taught, you know what I'm saying, since I was 4 or 5 years old, you know what I'm saying? Don't you sit on that public toilet.
Right.
It's ingrained in me now. You know what I'm saying? It's no way I can sit on that public toilet. I gotta put it down. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is a lot more sanitary than things out there, you know what I'm saying? It still doesn't make it sanitary for one. And for two, just to get my mind wrapped around somebody else peeing on the toilet. You know how guys' aim is off. Everybody else peeing on the toilet and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just can't get around it. I gotta put my toilet is gonna look exactly just like that right there.
I don't know about in the toilet too. I don't give
maybe not in the toilet. Not in the toilet. But I get in the toilet, you know what I'm saying, because you don't want it to splash back up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that nasty to splash back up. So you know what I'm saying? You want a little soft landing. But I don't necessarily do all that.
You know what I'm saying? But I do wrap it like a mummy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but let's go into this next one.
Run for a third term.
I would like Trump to be the dictator of this motherfucker. I like that white man. Y'all think it's a joke?
Man, Trump should run for a 5th term, a 6th term. He should run a marathon. I don't know. He should run for everything, man. He should run for a top 5 rappers that are alive. I don't know. Donald Trump should run for everything, man. I think if Donald Trump had an ice cream truck company, it'd be the best ice cream truck company in the world. Whatever he does, whatever he puts his hand on, it turns it to gold.
Do you think Trump should run for a third term?
Man, Trump needs to run for 100 terms.
Why?
He keeping us safe. He got on lockdown. Ain't nobody gonna f with us as long as it's Trump in the office. You talking about?
Should Trump run for a third term?
No, he shouldn't run for a third term. He should just be president for life.
Why?
Because we need a dictator. We need somebody like Trump who doesn't give a fuck and does whatever he wants and puts the American people first. I know that the economy is booming. I know that illegal immigration is at an all-time low. I know that businesses are thriving. I know that the streets are cleaned up. And I know that America is being restored to its most prosperous state, which it was, not anymore, but now it is again. So yeah, I think he should be allowed to just stay in office.
Do you think Trump should run for a third term?
Absolutely. If he can, I hope he can run for 5 terms. All I know is I get up every single day. I don't prefer listening to the news. Every single time I turn on the radio, bad news, bad news, bad news, stupid dog from Biden. And now if I turn it on for 5 minutes, all I hear is one more great thing, one more great thing, one more great thing. And then I go to NPR for a few minutes when the commercials come on. Trump is a danger to democracy. It's like the most ridiculous clown-ass bullshit you ever heard.
Should Trump run for a third term?
I just put that in there because, like I said, I think he still got the streets. the streets is, you know what I'm saying? I know the mainstream media try to paint them, but I think the streets, even across communities, still mess with him, you know. And his approval rate is up there still what Obama was in the second term as well. So, you know, so yeah. I think just like pre-election, I think the black males really messing with him. You know, he's been an icon in our community for a long time. You know.
Damn, it said an icon.
For sure.
I really ain't got much to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, you know what I'm saying, we you know, apparently, you know what I'm saying, the data is a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just agree to disagree, you know what I'm saying, as far as that goes. But long story short, you know what I'm saying, I think anytime you got a cult-like following, I don't give a damn what you can do. You can blow up the whole United States, you know what I'm saying, you still gonna have people that rock with you. So, you know what I'm saying, I mean, you know, a couple of surveys like that, you know what I'm saying, I don't think necessarily speaks the whole picture, but, you know, hey, I'd agree to disagree on that.
Gotcha.
See this.
In my household, you got Martin Luther King, you got Jesus, and you got Donald Trump.
Why you got Donald Trump?
Because I paid attention in school. So I know the true history of both the Republican and Democratic Party. I know that they really didn't switch during the Nixon Southern strategy, that one became more clever than the other in dealing with black people. We were the Republicans' friends. We were their friends, but we were the Democrats' niggas. When you look at the origins of the Ku Klux Klan, it originated out of the Democratic Party. Every civil rights legislation that ever has been passed in this country was authored, written, sponsored, and voted on 100% by Republicans and not Democrats.
You have to see this.
In my household, you got Martin Luther King, you got Jesus, and you got Donald.
Man, he put Jesus after Martin Luther King. That goddamn Charleston White, man. Hey, look, he know how to get some clicks. I tell you that. I give that. He know how to get some clicks.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, man. I mean, facts. I mean, we got a lot of these people. You know, we got tricked. You know, one got smarter and kind of hid their hand, and we kind of fell into it. And the end, they kind of self-proclaimed, "Hey, I'll do this and get them voting for us for the next 100 years." And luckily, that 100's almost over. So hopefully, we get, you know, my generation lead to spearhead the charge to go ahead and, you know, get up out of that, you know, wake up out of that coma, that spell, and start getting back to what, you know, our core values. We've never been liberal. We always been conservative bunch. We always had a lot of morality. This is not nature. We never got into none of this stuff, and just because we could invite them to the barbecue, that don't mean they're your friend. They're monetizing off of you, and you gotta ask yourself, you know, the old Reagan stuff, are you better off now or then? You know, look around, you know, so ask yourself that. Let's go ahead and run to this next one. I got a few more, so it's almost midnight. So let's go ahead and run it. So while I'm out.
Garage talk. So people ask me, how do I buy real estate? So let me tell you my process, and I'm just going to dumb it down. So some stuff I'm going to leave out, but this is just an example. So I'll find a property, and let's say I find a property that cost me $30,000. I will buy that house $30,000 with cash, and let's say it needs $30,000 in rehab. I will use a credit card, personal or business card, to do the rehab. So now purchase price 30, rehab 30. I'm into the deal 60. Now I want to get all of my money back, and I want to be able to pay my credit card back to zero. So what do? I go to the bank and I have them give me a loan, which is a mortgage. The bank is usually going to give me 70%, 75%, 70 to 75% of the value of the house after it's repaired, called the ARV, the after repair value. So let's say I just take out a mortgage for $60,000, because I want to get my original 30 back and other 30 to pay off the card. So they wire me 60,000. Now I owe them a monthly payment of a mortgage payment of, let's say, 600. I rent out the house for 1,400. When I get the 1,400 from the tenant, I pay the bank their 6. I'm left with 8. That's cash flow. That's it. So once I get the 60, like I said, I'm cash flowing. I got my original money back, and the other 30, I just pay a credit card back off. So let's say I want to buy me a nice watch. So let's use the same example. I bought it for 30, put rehab 30 on a credit card, and instead of taking 60, I take out 70. The bank they send me a wire for 70,000. Now the mortgage payment, let's say it goes up to 700 a month. So they wire me the 70. I put 30 to the side, take 30, pay off the credit card. Now I have 10,000 left over. All right. So now the 10,000, I may go buy a nice watch, do some dumb shit with it, maybe go on a vacation, whatever. Because guess what? I'm not paying it back. The tenant is. So every month let's say I get 1,400 instead of paying the bank 600 a month. Now, let's say I got to pay them 700 a month because I took out the extra 10. As long as I keep the house rented, I'm not really paying. I'm not doing anything to pay the bank back. And I still got my original money, credit card back to 0 plus another 10. So that's why I say I don't buy or do dumb shit with 9-to-5 money. I just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And you can do that shit as long as you want, as long as you can find the properties and keep them rented. Now, that's just a base example of how I do it. And maybe you do it differently, but that's me. Hypocrite. What up, bro?
I mean, how we get the message out, from different faces, long as it get out, hopefully that resonated with some people. And to see how simple this is, but we make money so complex. We get the money, we spend it, and then we have nothing to show for it. And you instead make that money work for you just by doing a couple of steps. Now it is work. He made it sound easier said than done, but he said it. He's just using easy examples just to show you the formula. The numbers aren't real, but he's showing you an example of what could possibly happen. Take that asset and make it pay for that liability. That way it's not coming out of your pocket. Now I take that 30,000, I spend 10 on a watch. Now I only got 20. Now it doesn't make sense. Use your money. Your money should leverage and make other money. And then if you want to do dumb shit, like he said, use that to where it's smart, to where it's triage and pays for itself. That way you're not directly paying for these luxury goods. Then to put the icing on the cake. Then if you buy a rollie that appreciates, now you're in the winning ticket. Buy a rollie or something that appreciates and not just any regular. I would do that before I do a vacation.
You would buy a rollie before you do a vacation?
Hell yeah, 10 times out of 10.
Okay.
Don't forget rollie.
A rollie appreciates. I get that, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. Yeah, you still got to live life, but okay.
Yeah, 10 times out of 10. Give me that rollie all day.
I got you. So I think you know what I'm saying, for me, you know what I'm saying, I hate when people, you know what I'm saying, use examples like that because you know what I'm saying it's so unrealistic, it's ridiculous. Especially in this market here, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to find a property, you know what I'm saying, that's 30,000, you put 30,000 in it. Now, I get it. He said he was simplifying numbers. I get that. But now you have other people thinking, you know what I'm saying, well, maybe I can get a property for $80,000, it'll be worth 300. You know what I'm saying? I put a little bit into it, you know what I'm saying, and I can be able to cash flow and pull this money out. Like, I think real estate is so much more complicated than that. And then even if you do purchase a property for that amount of money, just depending on where you're at, you have to, you're dealing with a certain clientele. So, you know what I'm saying, to get that cash flow, it's no telling what you have to deal with in order to get that cash flow. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with evictions, you're dealing with people, you know what I'm saying, that you might have to total gun to go collect your money. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more management intensive when you're dealing with those type of numbers. So I think it's so many things that get left off when people use those examples. And I get when they say, oh, well, I'm just simplifying it for everybody. Well, yeah, it's simplified, but make it a little bit more realistic. You know what I'm saying? if you will. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, real estate is an avenue to change anybody's life. You know what I'm saying? You can actually get a property, have the tenant paying off the loan, you pay down the loan, you build an equity within the property between appreciation and buy down and the principal pay down. You can amass a lot of money, but this ain't no get rich quick scheme. It ain't as easy as a lot of these gurus make it out to be. So then just proceed with caution and make sure you're educated, make sure you have mentors, whatever the case may be, to kind of help you through that learning curve.
I think he was just trying to show, enlighten. Of course, there's a lot more to it. I hope you understand that. If you don't, I'm saying it so you can understand that. Yes, there's more to it. However, get that thought in your brain to where, like, hey, there's a better way to get the things that I want without just going to the store and purchasing them. Just take that nugget and roll from there. Now, the details, yes, there's going to be more difficulties, but there is a path. It is a thing that, and most people do it. That's most rich people do it that way. So does the numbers match up? No. Maybe in Detroit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But no. But however, that is a thing. It can happen. Take the numbers out. Yes, that is true. You can get a loan against that to buy a part, take that cash. If you come up on some money, boom, you got 50,000. Yes, that could possibly happen. I could even get it to where you don't have to take that credit card. I got lenders that'll finance that money yourself. You do a draw, weekly draws or whatever, unlimited draws, and then you take the money. The bank will pay for that. You take it and finish it, then refinance it, then pull the money out. But you got to find finding the right property. That's the key. But if you know somebody, a lot of times people know somebody, they just don't have the avenues to extract the money, and they just refer it out. Hey, I know this, and don't understand it. But if you don't, that's why holler at me. I'll walk you through it for a fee. I got to put my 2 cents in there as far as my
get your shameless plug in there.
My shameless plug.
Hispanic Americans and Black people have the highest rates of probate. So what does that mean? Is that when the individual passes, their house is not in a trust, so the state takes over, and it's called the probate process. And that's when the majority of houses get lost, because now people could dispute it, people could fight for the assets, etc. The only way to prevent that is to have your property in a trust. Okay, it prevents probate, and it has a will, so you could say who has what. Ladies and gentlemen, Mexican people, listen up. Go get a trust. Avoid all the headaches. Latinos, Hispanics, Mexican Americans.
I mean, I'll let you get cracking at that when I look at the next one.
It's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying, that I wish everybody would actually everybody would actually take heed to. Now, here's the problem. It becomes down to execution. The problem is not knowledge. To me, at this point, problem is not knowledge, the problem is execution. A lot of people hear about trust. A lot of people hear about the Rockefellers, how they set up everything, you know what I'm saying, how the rich set up everything, you know what I'm saying. But a lot of people just don't take the necessary steps to go talk to an attorney, an estate attorney, to ask the proper questions to see, okay, well, look, this is my situation. I don't have Rockefeller money, but ask, you know what I'm saying, how can a trust help me in my situation? Like, it's all boils down to asking the right questions. It all boils down to what's our boy that was on the 85 South show?
John Hope.
John Hope, yeah. John Hope talked about, you know what I'm saying, look, if I'm in my community, you know what I'm saying, everything is failing everybody else around me, there has to be a better way. Now I start asking questions of how there's a better way. Then I start to learn and understand, okay, well, how are other people succeeding? How are other people doing things? When you consistently have people in your family that's dying, and then everybody, it's a fist fight. It's a fist fight, you know what I'm saying, for everybody to try to take a piece of this, take a piece of that, or whatever the case may be. Like, at what point, you know what I'm saying, do you understand, well, I don't want this for my kids. Let me go out and do something different than what my parents did for me. Because I don't want my kids arguing with their brothers and sisters over the petty stuff, over the house, you know what I'm saying, what to do with the house, what to do with this, what to do with that. And when you start asking those questions, that's when you can get an answer to prevent all this stuff. But I just think people are just lazy. They just don't want to ask the questions. They don't want to pay the little bit of money to go see an attorney, get the advice that they need to prevent the headache from the next generation. But again, as we talked about on the previous podcast, it just boils down to being a little bit unselfish. I think a lot of as he talked about, a lot of our minority families are selfish because they're just like, well, when I'm dead and gone, I ain't got to deal with it. They do what they want to do. I left them something. They'll have to figure it out. And in a lot of cases, you know what I'm saying, the bickering back and forth lead to what? The actual house getting foreclosed, either on a tax auction or either on a mortgage auction. It gets foreclosed on and nobody gets anything just because everybody can't get on the same page. So just save your family the headache, man. Just go and talk to a estate attorney and then get your proper affairs in order. So you know what I'm saying, you don't have to deal with this type of stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we had the same thing with my grandfather's house when he passed. Like I said, he had to go through the probate. Didn't have it. Well, he did have a will in place, but it still had to go through probate to say, all right, who gets what share and all this stuff here.
Correct.
You know, so you know, when people in that will pass, you know, so he didn't update it. You know, two of his daughters passed before he did, so my mom was the last one. So, but they still had us, so it had to go to their children. Their children had, you know what I mean? So it's crazy. But I think I'm gonna say this because I got a couple more, so I'm gonna try to run through them. I'm gonna play this clip. I'm gonna use the restroom while I play this next clip because I think it's kind of long. I don't want to say long. I think it's 30 seconds, but I'm gonna use the restroom while I play this next clip. Hyman said the guy, your partner said it the best. I accident.
All right.
When we talked about trust before on the podcast, he thought it was expensive. He's like, yeah, you got to be making X amount of dollars. I remember he said that, like, nah, bro, it's going to cost you a couple thousand, but you don't have to be making X amount of dollars in order for you to get you a trust. Mm-hmm. So it's the stigma in our community thinking that you got to be rich to do this, or you got to have some money to do this. You got to have some money, but you don't have to be making a certain amount in order to do this. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. Plus, and the fact that we always kick the can down the curb. Mm-hmm. We keep kicking the can down the street. Boom, 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 boom. And you kick it down so far, something else happens. You wind up never getting to it. Mm-hmm. So instead of buying that vacation, go ahead and handle your business. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and run this next one. I'm gonna go ahead. Let's go ahead and run this next one. Something you probably gonna love. I hate. Let's see.
He wants to serve black people at restaurants. There, I said it. I'm Frank Ski, and I'm just frankly speaking. All over the internet, there are videos popping up talking and complaining about black folk, my people, and how y'all act at a restaurant. For instance, like this video.
Nobody wants to wait on black people at restaurants. I'm going to tell you that is reality, and I will tell you why. As somebody that was a black server all throughout college, number one, when you wait on black people, they are always on this extra stuff. Everything is so extra. They come in there with their noses turned up at you because they think that they're about to pay for a service, and they think that they're the Queen of Sheba or Beyonce or I don't know who they think they are. But when they come in there, there's always an attitude.
There's always an attitude. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to keep it a buck. I love my mama. My mama's one of the most difficult people to please when it comes to restaurant. 90% of the time, my mama's going to send something back. But I love my mama. The reason why, because she cooks so well. And nothing ever tastes the way it's supposed to taste because it don't taste like her stuff. But you know what I found out also? You know who's one of the most difficult people to serve at restaurants? And I had a restaurant, so I know. Church people. Church people, y'all can be the worst when it comes to restaurant. I need my servers to chime in. And you know what? This whole thing about I don't really need the tip. They need to pay their servers better. Why am I tipping for a server? Listen. There's a certain amount of etiquette and class and culture you got to have. You got to switch it up. Just because you walk into the sports bar and get wings, that's not the same way you act when you go into Ruth's Chris or one of these big steakhouses. It's not the same. You got to learn there's a difference. And I listen, am I the only one? I don't know. But I do agree. Nobody really likes to serve our black folk. We don't tip well. A lot of times we don't like the tip. Black women are difficult to serve, especially for a black server to be a female and go to a table of females. You ain't never going to get it right. Black females can be real difficult. We already know. Come on, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling the truth. And look at this. They always want to split the check. I didn't eat that. I didn't eat that much, so I'm not paying now. I didn't order no drink. You ordered wine. I ain't ordered that. But listen, have some class, have some culture. Understand, it's always gonna be something with our people, but you got to learn to switch it up. You can't act one way just because this place is the way you act, and you can't go in there and act the same way. You got to learn the difference. I'm Frank Ski. Tell me what you think, and I'm just frankly speaking. No.
Frank Ski.
I'll give you first crack at it. I mean, well, I went to the restaurant, so let me go ahead. I peeped this one out before.
Go for it.
I mean, a couple things. I mean, yeah, I mean, I get it. Even in retail, it's you see them coming, you know, it's a stigma attached to it. Again, you gotta really, just like a difficult leg day. You know it's coming, but you got to gut your way through it and put your effort in to have that positive reaction. Give them the benefit of the doubt. As I'm speaking from the perspective of the server, and let them. A lot of times, it'll fool you. I don't want to say a lot of times. Sometimes it'll fool you. Sometimes it'll be nice. Sometimes you see it coming, and you kind of skate. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. But you prepared. But sometimes sometimes they're very nice. This depends. Well, do I agree with him? I mean, I never worked in the restaurant industry, but I can imagine what he's talking about. I've seen it. So he's not imagining it. It is a thing. To speak on, yes, I definitely think we need to class up on certain things and realize where you're at. That's what we were talking about earlier as far as McDonald's. You can't expect 5-star service because you're not tipping at McDonald's. A sports bar is different than Ruth's Chris and State 48. So when you're dealing with fine dining, that is part of the experience. That's why you're getting that type of service. You should tip everywhere because, like I said, don't forget it's empathy. Put yourself in those people's shoes. They get paid primarily off of tips. That's their ways. A lot of times they get paid $2-3 an hour, whatever. Mm-hmm. Or they make their living off of gratuity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I don't think most people understand that, B. I don't think most people understand that.
Right. So put yourself in their shoes. Would you want to take all your abuse and all that and do that for less than minimum wage? So don't forget, everything that you put out in the universe, you're going to get back. So think about karma. So you do this to somebody, you basically didn't pay them. You kind of robbed them. Mm-hmm. You used them and you didn't pay them. So that's kind of like robbery. That's kind of like walking away from, but however y'all want to look at it, however it makes you sleep at night, that's fine. But I don't want anybody to do anything, especially services, for me for free. So that's how you should look at it. It's not part of the food. That's not part of their salary. They get paid off your gratuity. So if you want to eat out, budget that in there. So, and then put a bigger budget. The lines, the goalposts move as you tick up as far as type of restaurant. Steakhouse is different, is a different ball game than a sports bar. We got to understand and be aware of these things. And I'll leave it like that while I look for this next one.
So I'm a little torn when it comes to this topic right here, you know what I'm saying? Because I can understand it from absolutely both sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? I can completely understand it. From a restaurant standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Look, it was the longest, you know what I'm saying? My dad just couldn't get off, creatures of habit, you know what I'm saying? He a $67 bill, you know what I'm saying? He'll leave $2 tip, you know what I'm saying? It was just habit. Until you had to have a conversation with him, like, man, look, you got to pay these people. You know what I'm saying? You got to give a bigger tip. Then he starts to understand what, you know what I'm saying, they actually get paid, because most people think that waitresses get paid. You may get paid $7, $8 an hour, right? You know what I'm saying? Or they may get paid $10 an hour, or whatever the case may be, plus tips. Oh, they making a killing, right? But like you said, you know what I'm saying, most of these people are making less than minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? And people just don't understand that. So I understand the fact, you know what I'm saying, they don't want to wait on our people because we don't tip well. But I 100% get that. But on the flip side of the coin, you know what I'm saying, if there's an automatic 18% gratuity on the tab, am I getting the service for 18%? A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, you run into these waitresses and these waiters, you know what I'm saying, and they'll go get lost in the back. Like, you like, man, look, we ain't got no silverware. Like, where the hell is our waiter at? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to send another waitress that you see to go find your waitress to bring them back so you can ask for some damn silverware. Because no waitress want to help the other one out. You ask, hey, can we get some silverware? Let me get your waitress. It ain't like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, we sorry. It's not about the restaurant. Oh, we sorry, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and get you some silverware. None of them want to help each other. Everybody is on their own accord, right? So if I'm paying 18%, I need to get the service for 18%. And in most cases, if we go to an establishment, a black establishment, and they have the automatic gratuity, I just need to see the service for the automatic gratuity is all I'm asking for. The other thing is this too, is that I completely understand the automatic gratuity in some cases, right? Because of the fact that we don't tip well. But what grinds my gears, as they say, is when the waitresses like to play the game where they don't tell you about the automatic gratuity. Oh, here's your total right here. This is what you pay. But they don't tell you that there's an 18%. So in your head, you're thinking, okay, well, look, I need to tip them. Well, that's an extra tip. And if you're tipping 20%, you're tipping 20% on top of the 18%. That's 38%. So, you know what I'm saying? They run these games right here, you know what I'm saying, trying to get over on people just to try to run up their money. That part I don't necessarily agree with. So I'm a little torn on the situation because I don't know necessarily which way to go. What's the you know, the perfect resolution? But all I can say is, you know what I'm saying, is that I can see both sides of the coin. I understand everything that he's saying. I can't disagree with anything that he's saying, but in some cases I can disagree. It just is what it is.
I think this just a slight thing on that, as far as you do have the control on where you dine. So if you go to these places that they have the automatic grat and they don't have the service, I guarantee you Steak 48 is going to have stellar service. I guarantee you Root Chris is going to have stellar waitresses. Or if not, that thing going to be comped. You know, so you get what you pay for. So a lot of these with the automatic grat are wannabe restaurants and wannabe establishment. They know if you got to question that, you're not at fine dining. You in the middle. You're a tweener. You're in between somebody, you know. So,
but
so
even if you're a tweener, right? You know what I'm saying? You trying to support, like you wanna support, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you don't want to be taken advantage of either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be. I'm not expecting more than service, but I'm not expecting to be shitted on either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm nobody. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing about I do agree with you about that. Is like certain restaurants too, like it'd be overpriced, you know, and then grat on top of that, and it's not worth the experience. That's where you don't get no more of my money.
One and done. That's it.
One and done. That's what I got a voice for as far as Google reviewing Yelp and all that stuff, so I can voice my opinion from there. You know, and I boycott with my review, and I mean, I have a voice with my dollars and my reviews.
Yep.
You know, and if it's too bad, I can always voice my opinion to the management.
Yep.
And then we go from there, you know. So, but it's always still a choice. I'm not going to continuously go to a place where if the service not up to par, I'm not going to give you my money. You know what I'm saying? This ain't happening. You know, so.
Shit's getting weird. Hard infinity. Everybody go ahead and grab your seatbelts and buckle up.
After spending 44 years wrongfully imprisoned, a man has finally won back his freedom. But the women who put him there show absolutely no remorse. Back in 1977, Vincent Simmons was just taking a walk through a park when police arrested him out of nowhere. Two 14-year-old white twins, Karen and Sharon Sanders, had claimed that 2 weeks earlier, a black man had assaulted them on a remote back road. They said they met a black man at a bar while hanging out with their cousin, Keith Laborde, and offered him a ride. They claimed that after getting into the car, the man pulled a knife, forced them into the trunk, and then attacked them. When police asked the twins to describe the man's appearance, they couldn't give any real details. Instead, they said, all black men look the same. At trial, despite there being no fingerprints, no DNA, and despite Simmons having an alibi backed by multiple witnesses, he was still found guilty. In the end, Simmons was sentenced to 100 years in prison with no chance of parole. While locked up, Simmons never stopped fighting to prove his innocence. Starting in 1977, he filed motion after motion asking to see evidence related to his case, but every request was denied. It wasn't until 1993, 16 years later, that he finally got copies of the hidden documents. Those files revealed shocking facts. Medical reports showed Sharon Sanders' hymen was intact, and neither of the twins had any bruises or signs of physical assault. The real story? The twins lied, trying to cover up inappropriate behavior with their cousin. Finally, in 2022, at 70 years old, Vincent Simmons walked free. No apology, no compensation. Meanwhile, the people responsible for stealing nearly half a century of his life said,
we still have our anxiety. We still have our depressions. We still have our fears.
A 25-year-old man lost 44 years of his life because of a stranger's lie. Should the cops, the judge, the jury, and those twin sisters be held accountable for ruining his life?
Fuck yeah. This is a crazy story. I never knew about this till today. Just heard about it today, and I was just like, went down the rabbit hole. I was watching the 48 hours documentary on it, and I was like, this is nasty work, man. And the ladies have the audacity to be like, oh, it's just because I still have my insecurities and I have my PTSD. But shut up. PTSD about what? About getting dicked down by your cousin? Come on. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Crocodile ass tears. Ugh. Yeah. Shit's getting weird.
Man,
So for sure, you know what I'm saying, after he got released, you know what I'm saying, you know, it should have been some sort of lawsuit. But you know what I'm saying, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, slowly but surely there's a lot of those situations where you know, any black, you know, it lived by the creed any black man would do. You said it was a black man that did it, you know what I'm saying, any black man would do. Oh, okay, you cool. You know what I'm saying, you're good enough. Found you walking, you know what I'm saying, you know, hey, look, you know what I'm saying, you know, you said something slick back to me while I'm sitting there trying to ask you questions or trying to search you, you know, unlawfully or whatever the case may be, I'm locking you up. And then not only locking you up, I'm going to pin this case on you because now we have another case solved. We have another case solved, helps our record, and then we get another black man off the street. It's very unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that, you know, so many cases like this happen today where not only just white women, you know what I'm saying, just any women in general could pin a man for a crime, you know what I'm saying, and they don't necessarily have to prove it and is guilty until proven innocent type situation. But then once it comes out that they were lying, there's no repercussions. They just get to go on about their life, you know what I'm saying, as if nothing happened, as if they did nothing, as if they didn't affect or change a man's life. I think something has to change, but you know what I'm saying, you know, nothing has been done yet. So I don't know.
Well, that's why we got like the woman had with the PMA. We still got eyes, ears, limbs to make legislation. That's part of the reason I clipped it, to bring awareness. Like we sit on our hands a lot. A lot of these happens in the 70s and 60s. They're still, if they're alive, people still hadn't been exonerated from this type of stuff. This happened often, you know. How many other cases that they have that was questionable, you know, or they had no evidence and they you know, railroaded somebody with the system, you know, and took them off the streets, and you know, even if you did release you still your life is affected. Mm-hmm. Your life is affected, so you know it'll never be the same. Your life is pretty much altered, you know. So I've been saying that, you know, for a long time. It's like you gotta. I look at it the same as the restaurants. You got to put yourself in certain situations. I know with him, he wasn't even had nothing to do with it. Hopefully technology with geo tracking and all this, you could trace my phone. Hey, I wasn't nowhere in the vicinity. You know what I mean? But stuff, the right circumstance could happen. But I'm hoping with technology, we're filming everything. A lot of this BS is gone out. They can't pin these type of cases anymore. However, I would say you still have to be on your P's and Q's. Don't forget, when you're in this particular society that looks at your skin first thing, you got to play defense. Defense win championships. You got to be aware of your surroundings and put yourself in a situation where there's no question about your intentions and questions about anything that happens. That way you can't get pinned with anything that's not appropriate. So you got to understand this, until legislation change, I think they do need some type of punishment, but I think even with child support, that's the biggest nasty work is that you have a man child support for 18 years and it's not his kid and he can't get a dime back.
Mm-hmm.
That's super. That is one of the biggest injustices in the U.S. system. That's criminal. That's fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And there's absolutely no penalties for that. None.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the pendulum swung too far back on the other side. It's kind of ridiculous.
Sad.
Yes, but you got to be on your P's and Q's. The only thing you can do is play defense. Defense win championships.
Yep.
Let me go ahead and run this. I got a couple more.
I want to make sure no black person is a Democrat ever again. I hope you got enough common sense and critical thinking to understand what's going on right now. I'm about to give you all the facts. Every day I think I'm going to come on here and tell you what these clowns have done to you. Can you just notice that they never got a solution for you and they always calling you a victim? That's number one. You always need Medicaid. You always need food stamps. You always need government assistance. Why you can't need a job? Why you can't need an education? Why you can't need a better job? Why you can't need a house? Why you can't need a better car? Why you can't need better things than motherfucking government assistance? Lyndon Johnson said he gonna have these niggas voting for Democrats for the next 200 years because that's how goofy you is. They filibustered the Civil Rights Act. It was the last record they had in Congress. They took men out of your homes. They would rather than be homosexual than to be a man in a home raising a family. Do y'all not see this? They claim to be Christians, but do everything against God. Are y'all Christians? I do not understand what's happening. Do you believe God's word or do you make it fit to your lifestyle? I do not understand what's going on. Was the dashikis not enough? When they walk their ass out there with dashikis on and your ass ain't never been to Africa. But they thought the dashiki was unity for you. They play in your damn face. They play in your face and you let them do it. You let them work up your emotions. You let them build fear. What happened to us being slaves now? We supposed to be slaves 6 months into the Trump presidency and all locked up in concentration camps. These niggas.
Yeah, that's true. And they are playing in your face. I remember when Nancy Pelosi, during the George Floyd situation, and they put on the kente cloths, and she went into the African American Museum, and then she went and kneeled, and then all of y'all actually thought that was some kind of consolation for whatever it is, and justifying align yourself with the Democrat Party. Yo, they are basically exchanging your votes, your money, your taxes, your life force, your energy, your homes, your children, your sexuality, your political preferences, and they're taking it and they're exchanging it in order to continue to keep you oppressed because they're making you dependent on the system. And I tell people, and every day I have to remind people the difference between being a Republican and being a Democrat is that being a Democrat is that you want to usually tie yourself to a system because you become dependent on it.
I'm going to make sure no black person is a Democrat ever again.
I thought they had finished that thought. I don't know what happened to that clip. But one of your favorite people, man, Anton, man. No, that boy Anton made it to Fox. Anton be on Fox and everything now, man.
Oh, really?
That boy blowing up. You know, so I mean, mic drop after that. I don't even need to say much after that. You know, I mean, all I can say is facts. You know, let's see.
Ain't nothing else to say on that one.
I wanted to see which one I wanted to run. But hey, man, I wanted to play this. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But let me play this, man. This is crazy, man. How what's happening right now? Them boys taking the NIL to the next level. Nah, them boys getting them boys ready early.
Good.
Still in diapers.
All right, come back. Come on, come back. Head up. Good.
Oh man, God, come on, man.
Come on now, keep
Come
your
on,
balance and
now.
get some speed up to it. There you go. Good. Come on, you got to be able to handle it, son.
Man, I got to give her one, man. I got to
Come
give.
on now, dog. Come on, man.
This boy fresh off the titty. You know what I mean? Drew 2 balls in that boy. I can't even dribble 2 basketballs like that. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Going down the court, turn around. Come on, man. Come on, dog.
You got to start them young. Start them young.
Oh,
but
man.
here's the
what is too young though?
Man, it's becoming an investment at this point. Kids are becoming investments at this point. Now they're talking about, you know what I'm saying, the discussion. Not that they're making it into fruition, but you know what I'm saying, now the discussion is becoming open up NIL for high school. So if you're going to open up NIL for high school where cats can make life-changing money in high school, right. I think, you know what I'm saying, you're going to start to see more videos like this. Cats got them out there, you know what I'm saying? Got them out there putting in their work at a young age.
And he coaching. Nah, come on, pick that up. Does this
Yep.
dude understand? Do we understand the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Understand, but starting them young.
That dude's still in diapers, man.
Starting them young.
Then they ain't man. I had the little bitty balls for a minute. The little hand, you know. That boy, that's real professional size basketball.
I was about to say, yeah, that look like regular basketballs, regular size basketball, because it looked like he training him along with the other kids that he's training. Right. So you know what I'm saying? He's putting them in there. Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Go on, get on in there. Yeah. If you're gonna be in the gym with me, you know what I'm saying, you might well put in that work.
Man, this dude still in diapers. Knock it off, man. We taking this. Dude still got pap on. Pull up.
Still got pull up on.
Learn how to piss in the toilet first before you even piss.
Man, look, he was handling that thing though.
He handling 2 rocks.
He was handling that thing though. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? He was dribbling that ball better than some of the middle school cats on my son team.
Shit, dribbling better than me. Man, come on, man. Come on now, dog. Let me run. I got a couple more, man.
Yep.
This one, I'm gonna play this one. I'm gonna play like 2 more after this. You know, it is after 12. Damn, it is 12:30. I thought it was close to the 12.
He was my friend. He had worked 33 years at this company, and he died on a Tuesday. He collapsed in his driveway on the way to work. Heart failure is what they said. Too many years of stress and not enough years of rest. He was supposed to retire in 6 months, y'all. Ron was a guy who never said no. He was always the first in and the last to leave. He missed every anniversary and missed every birthday. You really should have been there, Dad. The day after he died, they brought in a sheet cake from Publix. They poured warm soda into red cups. They called it a celebration of life. By Friday, somebody else was already in Ron's chair. The emails didn't stop. The meetings didn't get moved. The company didn't even pause, not even for a breath. In fact, half of the department couldn't go to his funeral because the company said we can't have that many people out at one time. Because that cake pop, that sad little break room moment, that was never for Ron. That was for them. A quick performance, a corporate dance, pretending you're not just another replaceable part. Ron gave him everything, y'all. They couldn't even give him a full moment of silence. And now he's 6 feet under. You think you matter? You think loyalty really means something to a corporation? Ron thought that too. Don't wait until it takes you out before you realize that the ladder doesn't really lead upward. It leads away, away from life, away from love, away from yourself. If you know somebody named Ron, tell me in the comments. And if you got a friend living this kind of life, definitely tag him in this story. I believe it could help him. His name was Ron.
That's facts.
Man, I know a guy that said my mentor, right hand man, Ted Goldman, shit. He passed. He dropped dead. You know, working all them years. You know, past. You know, so plus he was drinking all them Monster and Red Bulls. You know, but shit, he passed away. Shit, I seen it. Like I said, you know, this business gonna keep going. You know, a lot of things I regret though too, like working all the hours, putting all that. You know, but shit is like. That's where I'm at a crossroads. Like shit, we don't get that many chances. We don't get that many opportunities. So when we do get these positions, we almost forced. You know, they say it's optional, but a lot of times it's mandatory. We gotta, you know, be twice as nice as half the price. You know, that was always, you know. So I gotta be available. You know, I gotta work the extra time. I can't call off. You know, because you're already on the bubble just by who you are. And being unapologetic. So you want to keep that roof over your family head. You want to keep your children smiling, but at the same time, they just want that time. So it's tough. You see, it's tough. You can work yourself to that, and they won't give a damn. But at the same time, you want to be productive. You know, so it's a tough road. There's a lot of pressure as being a man. That's why I'm a men advocate, you know, as far as like there's a lot of things. And if you look at what the clips that I clipped, there's a lot of things that go unspoken, whether it be business, whether it be relationships, whether it be the pressures of this dealing with people that look like me. I got to answer for a person I don't even know just because we share the same skin. It's unfair, but it's what we got to deal with. So hopefully the podcast and our perspectives help people that's watching us navigate through these things, because there is no right or wrong answer. This is. These are the tough questions. You know, this is what it is. Like I said, my thing is, and I know it's wishful thinking, is to get that, go hard for 2 or 3 years while it's still, you're gonna have to sacrifice some years. It just is what it is, because a lot of times we're getting it out the mud.
Correct.
So get that 2 to 4, 5, and just go ape shit. And then hopefully you get to where you have your own financial freedom. And you're working for yourself. But a lot of times it don't work out like that. But you know, but at least put a game plan together to where you can have some time with your kids. I wish I had, because a lot of times they appreciate it, but they don't appreciate it. They appreciate the roofs over their head, but they don't realize until they later on. They really realize that time, but they don't understand that time you don't have, especially if you're working these hours. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll go and yield it from there.
I do think there has to be a balance, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, in some cases, in many cases, you know what I'm saying, if you don't have that balance, you have to understand what you're sacrificing. You're sacrificing the relationship that you have with your kids, just because, you know what I'm saying, your foot to the pedal grindstone, all that other stuff. Now here it is, you know what I'm saying, a guy that missed everything, you know what I'm saying, and showed no appreciation for it. You know what I'm saying? No appreciation for the sacrifices that he made for that company. You know, I mean, the main thing that reminds me of when you're dealing with these major corporations and how sacrificial you are, you know what I'm saying, is, you know, my dad worked for the same oil and gas company for 40 some years, the longest standing employee ever to be with that company. And when he retired, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't even a retirement party. It wasn't even a cake. It wasn't even a luncheon out, you know what I'm saying, to celebrate. It was nothing. It was just like, you know what I'm saying, he just got there a year before and he was retiring. You know what I'm saying? There was no appreciation for anything that he's ever done for that company. And then, you know what I'm saying, you know, when you talk about everything that he's done for that company and saving them from you can go on and on and on. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, there should have been some appreciation, and there wasn't, just because you're just another number. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, you have to figure out, is that sacrifice really worth it for the company? Because at the end of the day, they don't care about you. They'll replace you in a heartbeat. Won't even think about you again.
Right.
And go on about their business.
Just to rebut what you said, what we said earlier in the clip, and I'm going to stand on it, is that don't forget that you get what you put up with. You can't really fault the company. I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying I had this conversation with my mom when she was let go of it. She was with a job, I think 26 years, and with the hospital, she worked in medical records, and she got let go before her retirement, so she lost her pension and everything like that. And she was talking about, I'm assuming and stuff like that. What do you mean? You Texas, Louisiana, they're at-will states. He don't owe you anything. You can not like your tie, or not like your shirt one day and let you go. So just because you put people, put that tenure in, doesn't mean anything. They don't owe you anything. They don't owe you appreciation. There's even exchange. You work, give me your time and energy, I give you a wage. That's it. So we be looking for sympathy and all this and humanization, but that's a bonus. That's not a given. So you got to realize that early. And I think a lot of these kids, what is it, Generation Alpha, Generation Z, they just don't have that same loyalty. They take it the pendulum swung too far. They don't loyal to any company, and they bounce. Our generation, Gen X and Boomers, they seen what happened to us, and they taking notes, and now they're not loyal to anything. So I think it's a balance in between. I think you got to use them to learn and earn. I say this all the time. Learn, and I told this to the guy that always watch the show and stuff like that. Hey, work for someone, get your W-2, but however, learn what they do, and then take the money, don't spend it, don't go to concerts and all this on vacation. Take that spare money that you want to invest in getting your own business. LLC, get all that together, and then learn all the skills, and then build your own business in the same space. Same thing I did with retail stores, with video stores. I took that retail experience I got from Aaron's and I put it into a video store. Let me run these last two. I know I put this one in for Dunbar, and I'm thinking Dunbar. Parental advisory on this next one, but this is a funny ass story. But it has a message. Let me go ahead and run it. Put the kids away. If it's almost hour 3, so if you join us this long, you deserve a little bit of entertainment.
Got some head after. Was this after? I just got off stage and a lady walked up to me, beautiful white lady, just walked up to me after the show, and she was like, "You are beautiful." I was like, "Oh, thank you." She said, "I thought you were amazing." And I'm trying to walk into the green room. I literally just got off stage. I go in the green room and she's just like, "Oh my gosh, I don't even know why I want to do this." I said, "Do what?" She was like, "Oh gosh, take down your pants." I said, "What,
ma'am? Excuse me." Oh, white woman already is worried.
Right away.
I'm worried.
She said, "I have to do it." You have to do it. Okay, okay. All right, cool.
Oh my God.
This woman grabs it and she hit it 3 times. Yop, yop, yop. And she said, "Oh my gosh, my husband's gonna kill me." Husband? You gotta, hey, give me my shit back. Is he at home? No, he's in the audience. He in the audience?
What?
Man, that woman came up to me after the show, bought my merchandise, and looked at her husband, said, "Wasn't he hilarious?" and kissed her husband on the lips and said, "Thank you." I said, "You dirty ass broad. You a dab. You a dirty ass broad."
God.
I don't even know how to feel with that.
I did. I knew how to feel. I felt good about what happened.
Yeah.
I felt bad for that gentleman.
Yeah, I felt bad for him.
I felt bad. Felt even worse that I didn't even pop off. I should have popped. At least
you
let me
should've.
pop
I would
off.
have tried something. My toes would have been bent hard.
I was shocked. First of all, everything happened so fast, and then she stopped. My husband's gonna. My husband.
Oh,
I
would have
I'm
tried so
out.
hard to get all that.
Yeah, let's
little bit of
stop.
batter up out of me.
Let's stop. Let's
Pull
go and stop.
Penelope, your throat.
Yeah, but the road is interesting. It's
And the white lady sucking you up in front of with her husband there. It's great. The audacity of that woman to just
I don't know why I want to do this. What do you want to do? Take your pants down. Take my pants down.
Excuse me, ma'am?
I mean, I'm gonna take them down, but like, are you sure? This is crazy.
I can see a nigga like he was thinking.
All right, now wait a minute. Let me. Yeah.
You ain't even go all the way down. You just
You don't know. You don't have time for all that. You don't have time for all that. Right to your thigh, and you hold them. You gotta hold them just in
with
case.
a thumb down, and he just got he got the
One down, with shirt up, right here, pants down, right here, because you got to be able to move fast just in case some shit happen. You got to be able to get up out of there. You need to be able to move quick. You need, like the Navy SEALs, you need to be able to get in there, adjust, adapt, and get up out of there. Listen, young comedians, you must be disciplined. Don't go on that road thinking you can just do whatever you want to do with no consequence. There are. That's why you got to have some kind of barriers up for yourself. You got to have some kind of self-discipline. If you don't, man, this road will eat you alive.
But you got
diabolical.
That was diabolical, man. Yeah, man. Like I said, you gotta just a little bit of entertainment, man. Yeah, just like I said, nothing really to say on that. Really, this is a funny story. Like that, it's getting crazy out here, man. You got to think about your on both sides. I just feel sorry for the husband.
You ain't lying.
You know,
ain't got a clue.
Ain't got a clue real fast. I said, wait, where do you think she was? That's my point. That's the part I'm tripping on. You know,
I don't know, getting an autograph, I guess. I don't know what he was thinking. You know what I'm saying? And then in some cases, I don't even think the husband even care. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you dealing with that type of chick, you know what I'm saying, that's bold enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, is a lot of swinging going on, you know what I'm saying, out there, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, hey, look, it just is what it is. They giving a lot of what they call hall passes. They giving a lot of hall passes out.
Texas is the swing capital too. But now I noticed this before this meme came out, before this reel went viral, right? I noticed this. I was watching something on YouTube about FAMU. I was watching FAMU Homecoming, and I noticed the same thing. Spooky. I'm gonna comment after I play the video. It's not that long.
Internet. What's going on in Orlando? The ladies down there don't wear dresses? I saw this video and I looked at all the ladies, and they're all younger ladies, I can tell. And I didn't see not a one dress. And this is like on the weekend in Orlando. And I know it has to be like a demographic thing, because I went out this weekend here in Austin and I saw a lot of young ladies wearing dresses. So it's not like a worldwide thing, but are the ladies not wearing dresses in Orlando? I saw athleisure. I saw shorts and t-shirts. That might be all I saw. And yes, it's hot. I get that, but no dresses? I'm just curious. What's going on in Orlando and why y'all don't like wearing dresses? Let me know. Tell me in the comments. Why aren't the young ladies wearing dresses in Orlando?
Well, maybe he brought up a good point that I had to look at. Maybe it's a Florida thing, because the video I was looking at was in Florida. I'm like, man, they're like, damn, this new generation have no feminine, ain't nobody wearing a skirt, a dress. Where the sundresses at? Where the jean skirts or something? You know what I mean? Everybody wearing shorts and jeans, you know, or tights. You know, so I'm like, damn, this new generation different, man. Then the last thing I'm gonna say this, and I'll go and play this last clip. Back in my day, I know I sound old. They had the good girls that you could kind of tell, right? Even though you might be fooled, you could kind of see, all right, she kind of a good girl. You know, she kind of quiet. All of them don't look like. All of them kind of got this. They don't look right. They just look like they're into some shit. You know what I'm saying? All of them. I'm looking for the thing, whether because that was always my thing. I'm going to look for the good girl, the quiet one, because that's the one that's gonna give you that right, because nobody really paying attention to her. So that was my tactic when I was out there. All right, I'm gonna kill her, and she gonna be surprised. What I'm saying? Boom, and that's when I usually get act right. Ain't none of that now. All of them kind of look like they out there.
Yeah.
Man,
look, I live by the creed, you know what I'm saying? Like Charlemagne the God always say, you know what I'm saying, the craziest people coming is in Florida.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? In my theory is that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of them don't wear dresses because you got to be ready in case something pops off. If something pops off, you can't be in a mini skirt trying to get down out there, you know what I'm saying? Can't be in a dress trying to get down out there, you know what I'm saying? Because that actually gets ripped off your ass and be butt naked in the street, you know what I'm saying, fighting. So I do believe, you know what I'm saying, in Florida, they understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Look, I got to be ready. I got to have these tennis shoes on because I need my grip. Right. I can't be out there in no heels, you know what I'm saying? I can't be out there in a dress because I can't get at a chick if I need to, you know what I'm saying, if something pops off. So I need to be ready. So that's why I think, you know what I'm saying, they wear their dresses, but they're gonna have to tell me different. Yes.
Yeah, they ready to fight. That might be a thing.
Look, you seen all of them out there. You know what I'm saying? Shorts on and all this other stuff. But if something pop off, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready. Hey, look, you ain't see too many of them out there with halter tops and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anything that can be easily ripped off or ripped down. You don't see them out there with it on. You know what I'm saying? Because they got to be ready in case something pops off.
Yeah, that shit crazy how it's changed just that quick in one generation. Think this will be the last one. This is either the last one or the second last one. I got a few more, but this is the last one right now. Let me run this.
All right.
I just hate to see black people live amongst people that think they're less than. That ain't that in Atlanta, baby.
I like this.
Ain't nothing in Atlanta, baby. Like, listen, ain't none of that in Atlanta. Like, even if you racist and you hate black folks, you gonna be respectful here because we ain't playing.
Right.
So it's different, and I like it better that way. I always say I like Atlanta because you a nigga, and when you're in LA, you might forget. You might party at the right party and forget it. And you like, I got the right girls around you. You got the right friends, and you might forget you're black.
Yeah.
Like OJ.
Yeah.
So you think it's important to keep that at the forefront?
Hey, bro, listen, my superpower is my skin color because it's the first thing they see when they see me. So I already know what you're thinking or what you could be thinking because of who I am. So now I can disarm you, or I can lean into. I could be like, or I could be like, hey, how you doing? It's like, you're not like that. Why would you think that? Maybe you need to run into more like us.
That's interesting because us coming from the Midwest, coming from Kansas City, you're made to feel your color.
Yes.
Right. So when we moved to LA, it was a little bit different. I had to adjust because in Kansas City, people would see my stature or they see you with something nice. They automatically assume you so dope or athlete. We moved to Brentwood, which is a affluent area in LA.
Of course.
Exactly. And I remember telling my wife, I had braids. I still look like a gangbanger, right?
For sure.
But the white people over there treated me differently because it was almost like, oh, you can afford to be over here.
You're different.
So you're
you can't
different.
Beat like them.
I had to adjust to that.
And for me, I hate that because what people don't understand is they're still qualifying you.
Yeah. Yes.
They're still saying, you know what, Court, sit here, you qualify.
Right.
I could sit there if I didn't qualify.
Right.
I don't give a you can't qualify me. I qualify me. I just hate to see black people live amongst people that think they're.
What you got on it? Let me see. Let me scour see if anything I want to play else. But I think that's it. The rest of it, I can wait till next week on.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't much to say. I mean, for me, you know what I'm saying, it ain't much to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Because one, I never lived in LA, and two, I never lived in Atlanta. Only went to visit LA, visit Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I can see where there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Where there could be a difference, where you could possibly get lost. But hey, look, you know what I'm saying? As far as an opinion on that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got much of one because, you know what I'm saying, I can't speak to the fact, you know what I'm saying, I ever lived there to be able to tell the difference.
Well, I think we were saying as far as Atlanta, they have a where they run it where you can't. They're not going to allow like I guess racist action because they kind of have a little bit of a unity. I kind of like it, but they kind of went. I was out there in like 19. It was. I liked the vibe, but it kind of went overboard like right after the pandemic. I kind of put this clip in there, and I want to kind of because I kind of had an epiphany this week, and it might change a little bit of way I see things. And this came to me out of the blue. And I might use this. You can go ahead and steal this if you want. You know what I'm saying? When anybody start talking to me about like black people do this, black people do that, I'm a Google on my phone whatever they look like, a picture, whatever they look like, and I'm gonna say, hey, this guy right here, his name is Ron. Do you want to be responsible for everything Ron says and does? Do you know Ron? They're gonna say no. Like, all right, that's how I feel about you telling me, about some people I don't even know. Just because we share the same skin color, it doesn't really mean why do I have to answer for them? Why do I have to? Why do I have to? I don't even know these people. I've never met them. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy how we in the United States, just because my skin tone is saying I got to answer for somebody I don't even know. We're not even raised. We're not even from the same state. I don't. Mm-hmm. I've never interacted with this person. How do I have to? And why would I answer for somebody? Oh, see, what happened is I sound just as crazy. I never met this person. How can I? I don't know what this person's been through. I don't know what's going on. How can I answer for this person? It's impossible. Mm-hmm. It's unfair. So hey, answer for this guy right here. His name is Ryan. He's short, bald, and white like you. Answer for him. He did. Why did he go to eat lunch last week at this particular restaurant? Do you know why? No, because you never fucking met him.
Right.
You see how cool this game we playing is?
Yeah. Oh, I see it.
So that's how I'm gonna start answering people. Like, man, why do I have to answer for somebody I've never met?
How can you answer for somebody you never met?
And I would be stupid to see what happened was that is dumb. I'm not playing the game no more. Won't you ask them?
Right.
I have nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
So that's why I play. So what are you talking about? Who qualified all that? I'm stopped playing this game. Like I said, I think, and I don't. There is a moral of the string of what's going on with these clips. You get treated, and you get what you put up with. So if I no longer put up with this, I got to answer for these people. I gotta act a certain way because somebody else. I'm not playing that no more. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I can't judge me by my actions. Had nothing to do with me. I mean, let's be for real. Oh, why the black people? How do I know? How would I know? How can I answer that?
Like, look, I stay in my lane. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing. And I'm gonna just reverse it back on you. Whatever you, why did this? Why did this? Can you answer that? Mm-hmm. Same exact thing. So it's silly. We play this game, and I don't know how we got caught in that spell. Something woke me up. Like, stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah. Ain't nothing else to be said about that. Point blank period.
Point blank period, man. I'm done playing the game. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, we're gonna see you next week.
That's what it is.